Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The injuries are mounting for the basketball Buckeyes. Ohio State lost Christoph Tilley in the second half yesterday at Washington, then lost to the Huskies 81-74. Head coach Jake Diebler did not have a post-game update on Tilley, but it's reportedly a rib injury that sidelined the 7-foot transfer from Santa Clara. Ohio State was already without forward Brandon Knoll, who's dealing with a foot injury. OSU does have a week off before playing UCLA Saturday at the Shot. Hear more from Ohio State's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Jake Diebler radio show. The 19th-ranked Ohio State women's squad upset number 8 Maryland 89-76 yesterday in College Park. Jelani Cambridge led with 28 points. Ohio State's going to play at Penn State on Wednesday. And in the NFL last night, the Patriots beat the Chargers 16-13 to advance to the divisional round. They'll play the winner of tonight's Steelers-Texans tilt in Pittsburgh. This update's sponsored by Eco Plumbers. Get $500 in free plumbing services when you buy a new water heater. Visit geteco.com and book today.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Monday edition of the program. Oh, the boys with you for the next three. Pretty loaded up for you. 9:30. Get you a portal update. When does this thing close? When does the portal close?
Friday.
So-ish. You said that with zest. Still 5 days left of this nonsense that we got to get through here, and it's just utter chaos. We'll get to an update on some wins and losses over the weekend for the Buckeyes coming up at 9:30 on that. 10 o'clock, we're going to take, I thought it was about time, especially with the portal closing at the end of the week, take a look at where the roster stands right now as we believe it. What's still needed here this week? What positions need buttressing? Those will be a conversation we'll have coming up at 10 o'clock. 10:30, Austin Ward will set us straight on some fact and fiction on what's really going on behind the scenes up at the Woody Hayes. 11 o'clock, we will blitz the weekend. 11:30, Bill Bender will join us. Also get you set for Steelers and Texans. Talk a little bit of NFL. Big, heavy NFL day tomorrow. I was going to do the NFL out of the gates, and then I got a Facebook has very little value for me other than sharing with my family, the children, because my family lives west of here. And so because of that, that's kind of their way to like keep updated on where they are. And I don't post on it as much as I used to. I probably should get better at it because it's really more about them than certainly anything I'm doing. But the other thing it does that has a little bit of value to it is it provides, this is what happened on this day 11 years ago. So I saw this morning after I sent you guys the show prep, and then I was listening to, I saw this this notification I got, and it's me at Jerry World 11 years ago. And, of course, Ohio State beat Oregon that night to win the national title, Urban's only national title here, and probably one of the more improbable national titles of all time, although this one a week from today down in Miami could top it if all things are considered. But nevertheless, you get that title and you get everything that came with it. And then I was listening to Joshua and Tyvis, who were on with Brother Bone, of course, this morning, and listened to those guys reminisce, and it brought back a lot of things that come rushing back. And it's amazing what can change in 11 years. That was the first year of the 4-team playoff. And there was a lot of consternation at the time. Do we need 4? And the consensus was that we did, that the BCS was something that was becoming such an old boys club, and there were more teams that deserved a shot at getting their shot at a national title. So they expanded this thing to 4. And the 4 was something that was a learning curve, too, as I've said very many times, and a great many of you will probably remember this. In the lead up to the selection process, Ohio State was on the outside looking in. And up until that point, we had a poll mentality. You win, you stay, you lose, you drop. There's no way if you continue winning, anyone jumps you from behind. But Ohio State did, because they had the last chance against Wisconsin on that Big Ten championship game and just obliterated the Badgers. And so you do that, and you go to Alabama, which is still my favorite personal sports moment I've ever seen in person, is that game down in Louisiana against Alabama. And Zeke going 85 yards through the heart of the South. And then you advance to Oregon. And honestly, that felt like a coronation more than anything else. There was anybody who was down there, and I'm pretty sure Oregon was favored in the game because they were undefeated. I think Oregon was favored in the game. Bama was favored big. But anybody who was down there gave Oregon no chance to win that game. You could just, the look of them, they did not pass the eye test the way that the Buckeyes did. And so you get that national championship, you get everything that comes with it. I remember the press conference, I want to say one of the press conferences leading to the Alabama game. It was one of those joint media days where Urban and Saban, and Urban did it first, to Urban's credit. Now, Saban maybe said it somewhere else. In those days, information wasn't so easy to ascertain. It didn't travel as fast. Urban went to the podium and said, we got to get some stipends for these guys, for their parents. You're going to ask us to go play an extra game, then we got to get some stipends for these guys. And all of us in the media were like, yeah, that's about right. I mean, you're playing extra games, and you're going to, so you play a Big Ten championship game, and you play this game, and you play that game. Yeah, you should take care of the parents a little bit on that side of things, and it kind of resonated. And then Nick kind of talked about it too. That I mean, we got to take care of these guys, and both of those guys talked about it in the years that followed. I don't think either one of them would envision where we are 11 years later. That we are in now a 12-team playoff, that Tony Petitti wants to go to 16 for a year and then to 24 and maybe to 30 to find money. That's all this is, guys. I don't know if you saw this story over the weekend. It's all just finding money because they don't know how to make the finances work and continue to make more and more and more. And so they're just trying to add these games. Who in the blue hell needs a 30-team playoff in major college football? Who in the blue hell needs a 24? We don't need a 16 unless you get rid of the conference championship games. Can an adult in the room step up at some point and stop the nonsense here? It's ridiculous to think that you need to expand this anymore. You are not supplying to your constituency what they are expecting to be supplied. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we picked up a kid from Florida State over the weekend, a safety, Earl Little Jr. He's coming up. Dad played for the Cleveland Browns, and so we'll get into that conversation a little bit later in terms of where they are, where they're not. But he and I were having a conversation. He's like, I pay $6,000 for 2 seats in a box at Florida State football games. That's what he pays for the year, $6,000 for the box, for 2 seats in the box. He splits it with a bunch of his buddies. And he goes, I'm out. And I said, you're out? He goes, yeah. He goes, I don't need to go to all these games. I can't give half of them away for free. I'm going to take the $6,000. And guess what he did? He went to Indiana and Oregon on Friday night. He's cherry picking the games he wants. Now, Florida State and Ohio State are not apples and apples. That's apples and oranges, not apples and apples. But fans who go to games are going to have real decisions to make about where they spend their dollars. And that's something that all these folks had better remember as they're making all these decisions. That's all predicated on television buyout and everything else. The NFL still makes sure that the product every single Sunday is great. They make sure it. You know how they do that? With a salary cap, with contracts for coaches and players. That's how they do it. That's how you got the NFL games you got this weekend. That's how you got everything competitive. That's how you got a level playing field every single Sunday. College football ought to take heed from that, honestly, now, way past time. Because you're going to air it. They're going to be programmed. That is Florida. They've got 3 national titles in the last 30 years. 3 of them. 40 years. Going back 93. 93, 99, and what, 13? 3 national titles. They're a feeder program for Ohio State. That can't be what college football is. Can't be.
I think it's an extreme arrogance that's permeated the sport only forever to think that what they can do on the field will trump everything else. And so far, they're not wrong. because of what you've seen with bowl game ratings, what you've seen with the money paid out by the likes of ESPN, CBS. We're going to get into a situation where like Amazon and Netflix are going to start to really want college football games. And ESPN's probably going to have to acquiesce some of their college football content because you're seeing games on you're seeing meaningful conference games on the CW network, and stuff's getting pushed over to Turner. So there's, I think, going to be, obviously you're getting expansion. We have January 23rd for that floating date, and they might kick the can down the road. But before March, before they do the tournament the NCAA is only good at in that basketball tournament, you're going to get college football playoff expansion. And so I think they see the numbers and they see the money that they're getting. And as long as they see those things, they likely feel that they can weather every other storm that comes. Because if they didn't, then they wouldn't be waiting this long to just collectively bargain it all away. Because they're going to court next week against Trinidad Chambliss. So,
which, yeah, they are lighting massive bonfires while there are a million little campfires behind their doors. A million of them, Bake.
Isn't it crazy that I feel like when I was growing up, you couldn't wait to get to middle school. You couldn't wait to get to high school. You couldn't wait to get out of your parents' house and go have your own life and all of this. And now we got guys fighting to stay in college.
Yeah.
And they're making so much money now. It's totally understandable. We keep talking about this, though, and the NCAA weathering this storm, and they're not catering to their fans, and they're not doing this. Look at the numbers, the TV numbers, though, on the first round of the college football playoffs.
Yes.
They were huge.
Yeah, they were good.
So we say, and I understand the college football playoff is separate technically from the NCAA, but it's people involved in the NCAA that are making these decisions because the NCAA is the college presidents, the college ADs. That's the NCAA. These schools are the NCAA. Mm-hmm. So they're the ones that are doing this college football playoff. And we talk about that they can't, the NCAA tournament's the only thing they do right. Well, I'll disagree. They're doing this right because they're making money hand over fist, and we're all watching it, and we're all taking in as much content as possible. So we can complain about it and say it's flawed and this and that, but until we stop watching it, it's going to continue just like it is.
It's it's like an addict who's searching for the next high and wants to get more high and more high and more high and more high with no regard to what that is doing to the body. So, yes, there are some wins right now. Financially, there are some wins. Television ratings, there are some wins. But you're losing the battle underneath in a big, big way. And there's about 1 billion problems that need to be fixed right now. One guy who figured it out is Kurt Cignetti at Indiana. That was a clinic on Friday night. We'll get into
it's pretty
that.
Simple. I win. Google me.
Can't stand him.
He's right.
But damn it, I do respect him. We'll get into that and among other things coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront costs before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company, you can trust.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. Big savings right now with my friends at your main Honda of Dublin. Boy, it's the perfect time to upgrade your ride. You can lease a new Honda for as low as $199 a month, or definitely take advantage of rates as low as 0% financing on select models. Rich will even give you an additional $1,000 for your trade, even if you don't buy a Honda today. They have more than 400 new Hondas in stock, and the deals are the best around. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at germainhondaofdublin.com.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra. Exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, okay. We've got a little song today, eh?
Yeah, spent quite a while working on that one. Thought I'd sell more windows if I had a catchy window jingle.
I like it. You know, jingles aren't really our thing at Pella. We just stick to the highest levels of quality and design thing.
Oh. Wish we would have thought of that. Do.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
The Buckeyes are back at the shot for a Big Ten battle with UCLA.
And yes, that still sounds weird.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday at noon with the Tip at 1.
Every game, every season. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
They didn't have skim milk for your coffee, so I just got formaldehyde.
Oh, isn't that stuff in floor cleaner?
Pizza's here. Would you like cheese on that? Or how about a Crowley?
Oh, no, that's in bug spray.
Hi there. Would you like to sample our new scent? Diethylene glycol.
Isn't that the stuff in antifreeze?
You wouldn't want to eat it, drink it, or even smell it, but that's exactly what's in your vapes. If you vape, quit. If you don't vape, don't start. For help, go to odh.ohio.gov/no vapes. A message from the Ohio Department of Health.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For today, expect a mostly sunny start to the work week with highs a lot warmer than yesterday, getting into the low 40s. However, with breezy winds, we'll have that wind chill in place. For tonight, mostly clear overnight with our lows in the upper 20s. And then for Tuesday, a nice mix of sun and clouds and milder with breezy winds continuing and highs in the upper 40s to low 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
It's Reaction Monday, where our highly trained experts talk football.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
Your home for reaction and overreaction, The Fan. First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
One of the things that, a great many things. First, okay. Last Friday night. It feels like a long time ago, but some things to discuss because this is what we do here as we talk college football the most. I have never seen a home field advantage like that in a major bowl game.
Insane.
I didn't
Was
see...
that in Atlanta?
Yes. Now, they stuck it to Oregon as big as you can stick it to Oregon. They made Oregon play Texas Tech at noon in Miami. I don't know the last time you guys looked at a map. Long ways. Then they made them play in Atlanta. Any sort of common sense, which, by the way, would have saved money, would have had Oregon playing in the Rose Bowl, because it doesn't matter. It's all just arbitrary. These games aren't really bowl games. It's just utter nonsense. Like, Ridiculous. Have Oregon play. Just do it geographically. Have some common sense to it. And then have Oregon, Indiana playing in the Fiesta Bowl and have Ole Miss and Miami playing in the Peach Bowl. I mean, that's the way to handle that thing. But so I'll give Oregon a little bit of a pass on that, because can you imagine the amount of money it takes to go to all of that stuff? And my guess is there are probably 76 flights a day from Indianapolis to Atlanta, like there are every city in America. So that's pretty easy. You could also drive it. Very drivable to drive from Indiana to Atlanta if you wanted to. So that part can't be ignored. All of that being said, biggest home field advantage I've ever seen in a bowl game. I felt like it was 98-2. I didn't see a single swath of green anywhere. There was a little of it speckled, but it seemed like it was 98-2 percentage. So they obviously have been waiting on this a long, long time and probably never even considered it a possibility until now. The one thing, there are a great many things that annoyed me. The one thing that does was, and I'm going to give Indiana all their flowers because they've earned all of them. But one thing that did annoy me about all of this was the constant talk by the ESPN folks on the broadcast about how Cignetti has, and the graphics about how they have no 4 and 5 stars. No, they don't. They have 22 and 23-year-olds. Kurt Cignetti did not, and he deserves all the credit in the world for playing the game the best possible way and taking a bunch of kids who don't know each other and putting them together and making them row in the same direction and creating culture and buy-in and all of that stuff. Fernando Mendoza was the number 1 quarterback in the portal last year. He's the one everybody wanted. He went to Indiana. He's not as a recruit, he was undervalued for sure. But not after anybody saw him play at Cal. I mean, he was trending as a first, second round pick before he even got to Indiana. So he was headed in that direction anyway. So, and then their average roster is 22 and 23.
I was about to say the average roster of next Monday's title tilt, like they could probably rent a car with that.
Yeah, damn near. And that isn't, so they present it as if Kurt Cignetti at Indiana was taking 2 and 3 star guys and turning them into 4 and 5 star talent. No, he's playing with grown men. He's playing with 22 and 23-year-old grown men. If you pull up their R-Lads depth chart, it's riddled with redshirt junior transfer. Like there's one after another of those. That's the whole roster is that, or the majority of it. And it does not take away with what he's done. He is playing within the rules of the game, and he's doing it better than anybody else in a million, billion, trillion years. Did I ever think it would happen at Indiana? Hell no. But it's gonna. They're going to win the national championship a week from today. They are so complete as a team. There really is no weakness to them. They are a 7.5-point favorite in the national championship game against Miami in Miami's own hometown. This game against Oregon was over as soon as Dante Moore let the ball out of his hands on his first throw. It was over at that point. There was no coming back. Oregon had no margin for error to begin with. Bake, you texted before the game. You go, Lanning looks nervous.
Yeah,
I think he knew.
I didn't like his body language at all coming out of the tunnel. It looked like he was literally peeing down his leg right then.
I think he knew what was coming. He had no running backs. They're all hurt or transfer portaled and all this other nonsense. And I think he knew. I think he knew what was coming. 56-22? Come on. Indiana? 15-0? In a conversation with like 2019 LSU and 2001 Miami and as greatest, what are we doing? How do I make sense of this world? Beamsy said to me something I tweeted out. I can't remember exactly what he said. He goes, Dad, I don't think anybody could ever beat Indiana. How is that said? By a proud son of Ohio. How do I raise men in this culture?
I was thinking about like Nebraska fans that are still like, if we get a quarterback, man, we'll be back. You think of some of the fans of museum programs who are going to have to weather in the next couple of months, because what they did to Oregon, what they did to Alabama, I think something similar is coming for Miami. Because I think so too. I don't know what that defensive front's going to look like come next Monday. I don't know if what Indiana wants to do, and they've seen enough games of Miami, and you think the coaching staff's going to be like, yeah, we'll just run up tempo, and we'll tire you guys out before the half. Like, I think what happened to Oregon's coming from Miami. You're going to have those conversations of greatest college football team of all time, And you're going to laugh because the I that intersects the U is not supposed to be involved in this conversation. But 16-0 and the margin of victory that they've been doing it, you can't, it's undeniable.
Yeah.
Reese, I think you just said something. I don't know if we'll ever see this again. I don't know if we will ever see an undefeated national champion. 16-0, like 16 games they've got to go through to get there. They will have played Oregon twice, who I think Oregon is a really good team. They will have beaten Ohio State, who I think was an uber-talented team. And they'll beat Miami if they get there and win this national championship. And I think they will. We talk about Cignetti, and he's been a really good coach everywhere he's been. But he has coached at different levels where he's used to this. When you're at James Madison, if you have a good player, someone big comes and gets them. So you have to backfill your roster a lot every year when you're at these smaller schools. So Cignetti has probably been doing this for a while. And he's used to this with having to replace really good players every year. He also had a James Madison team that was 11-1 and really damn good the year before he came to Indiana, and he brought like 30 of those guys with him.
Yes, he did.
So it wasn't like they just overchanged. They didn't just overhaul a whole roster. Like there was a culture that came with him too that permeated that team. And then Mark Cuban jumps on, and the boosters at Indiana jump on, and then they can go get a Pat Coogan from Notre Dame, who has just been awesome in the center of that offensive line. And they just, that's the thing. Mendoza's numbers are good, but they only threw the ball 20 times. They ran the ball 40 times on Oregon and just kept coming at them and beating them up physically. It was impressive.
They did. And honestly, it feels like sometimes they have the answers to the test. I mean, to jump that first throw that Dante Moore threw. I mean, like it's like they have the answers to the test. It's crazy. And there's no stopping them. There's no stopping them. Miami's not going to stop them. And Ohio State's going to be in this position where the only two teams they lost to are the two teams playing for the national title. And you're a play here or there against either one of them from being right here, which ought to make you feel good about where your situation was this past year. But this Indiana thing, man, this is a train rolling down the tracks with no brakes, and it's all gas at this point. And I don't think the U has a chance on Monday.
And just real quick, as I'm kind of looking around, reading about people and the I don't know, it's not a critique. It's just you're pointing out Indiana's age. 22.5 is the average age on the roster. Like, that's not a knock on anything. That's not a negative. That's just pointing out a fact and kind of showing you a blueprint on how to do things in this portal era. To win a national championship, to go this long of a season with, zero. There was just nothing, even when you had coaches that were maybe interested in other jobs. Like, there were no distractions on this team.
Yeah.
Bo, just please tell me when they call you and ask you to narrate the Google Me 30 for 30 that you would say yes.
That's the title.
And then you're just going to cut
simple. I win. Google me.
He won. He sucks, but he did. I got to own it. All right. Well, 2 minutes from now, the very latest on the portal, what we know, what we think we know, where Ohio State's winning. Some order restored a little bit in the sport. We'll get to all of that coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-FAB to schedule schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. Baths Are Us, where dreams soak in.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Mike with the Good Feet store. Are your bad feet making work miserable? You're not alone. Here's Val, a real Good Feet store customer.
I'm a salesman. I've pounded the pavement 35 years, literally. My legs ached, my feet hurt. It was just sometimes unbearable. But if you don't have a good attitude when you're in sales, it shows on your face. I heard an advertisement on the radio for the Good Feet store, and I said, what can I lose?
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Val get back to doing what they love without their feet getting in the way.
I walked in the Good Feet store and I said, my feet hurt. What a difference with these arch supports. When I go and talk to my customers, I've got a smile on my face. I can go all day long, and then some. It's the real deal. My name's Val, and that's my Good Feet story.
Don't let bad feet stop you from achieving your 2026 health goals. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you? So what's up on a Monday edition? This Friday, the portal's going to close. It's been open since, a week ago Friday. And there's so much out there, so many rumors out there. It's hard to know what's true or what's not. One of the things that happened, and the timing of it was nice. It happened with Mike and Timmy on Friday. Was the notice that Bo Jackson will return to Ohio State in 2026. A lot of consternation about what the ask was, and it's possible that he, went in and said, look, I'm going to need a lot more, and then you have to have a negotiation. And the thing that's really challenging about all of this is in the NFL, and all these guys have agents too, but in the NFL, there's a general manager, sometimes ownership, that negotiates with a agent, and the player is largely out of it. It's agent so that there isn't personal animus. Like, how do you, but that's grown men. This is 18, 19-year-olds in some instances, these freshmen that are jumping in the portal. Like, how do you prevent any sort of animosity from occurring? I don't know how you could. And so that's one of the billion things that are problematic about all of this. There was some order restored. The Buckeyes have landed 6 portal players so far. Free safety out of Florida State, Earl Little Jr. is one of them. So far, he was probably the biggest fish over the weekend. Wisconsin linebacker Christian Allegro, he came in last week. He's a stud. Threes is going to love him, and that makes all the sense in the world. Other than that, it's been largely minor additions here or there. A couple of Colemans, the Buckeyes were linked to, both of them. Auburn wide receiver Cam Coleman, he made it official over the weekend. He will go to Texas and be a Longhorn. And then Penn State defensive end Chaz Coleman will transfer to Tennessee. Ohio State was in on him throughout the recruiting process. Penn State won. He ended up having a really good freshman year at Penn State and was on the market, visited Ohio State, and then inevitably returned to Tennessee. If you pull up the 24/7 top transfer portal ranking players, what you will see is what has happened to the sport, which is parity has happened to the sport. And really, as you're building a roster out, your numbers in terms of guys who you can really take care of, my hunch would be somewhere around 40. I think that's even at the high end. And then after that, you're going to see this where the back end of this roster just goes in the portal all the time. Guys, there are currently 28 Ohio State players who are either portal and landed at new spots or are in the portal looking for new spots. These rosters are too damn big. You don't need 100 kids on a college football roster anymore. I don't know what the sweet spot is. I don't know if it's 75. To me, follow the NFL on all of it. Keep that lower. Have a practice squad. Have a group that you pay that's a much smaller number, and then maybe you wouldn't have all of this, because these guys have bad agents who are giving them bad advice, and they got folks. And I don't blame some of these guys, right? Like you have to make the money when you can make it, but at the same time, like, there aren't enough landing spots, fellas. There aren't for all of these guys. 28 of them. Yeah, for Lincoln Keenholz, you find a home pretty quick, and you end up at Louisville. Okay, well, that one's pretty easy. That works pretty good. If you are James Peoples, and you were a huge recruit out of Texas, you're going to find a spot pretty quickly. He ended up at Penn State. If you are Bryson Rogers, and you have connections with Brian Hartline, well, South Florida, that feels like a fit. Same thing with C.J. Hicks. Bryce West, looking for a place, finds Wisconsin. Okay, he was a big-time recruit. But what about the rest of these cats? Where do they land? Where are their homes? Are they compensated even more where they're going than they were last year at Ohio State? Because the other thing that's really fascinating about this is the first guys off the board, the most coveted guys in this portal were experienced. Just take the quarterback position alone. Sam Levitt's still out there, and he's the number one player in the whole portal. My guess is he is leveraging everybody against everybody and trying to figure out if he wants to go to Miami or LSU or wherever he's going to go. But look at what happened to guys who were 5-star recruits who got the bag out of high school. Dylan Raiola sounds like he's going to go to Oregon. That's what it sounds like, that he's going to go there. I don't know if he committed there yesterday or not, but I know he took a visit over the weekend. So maybe he ends up at Oregon. But think about DJ Legway, who was a 5-star, who got a massive bag. He was the reason that the coach got that he got to stay an extra year because he got him in the recruiting class. He's going to Baylor. Is that
for sure, by the way?
Did that change?
There were reports after it said that he committed to Baylor that he was still visiting schools.
Oh, God, who knows?
And had not totally committed there. So I wonder if that is for sure that he's heading to Baylor. I know his dad played there, but...
He did, yeah. He's down on... All right. They still have him Baylor committed on 24/7. Like right now, they have crystal balled Raiola to Oregon. That would be predicated on Dante Moore not returning to Oregon, which to me feels like it's still in play. Like, would he go sit for a year? Raiola go sit for a year?
He doesn't seem like that guy.
I had heard, I think it was T-Bone that said this. So when they were wrapping up their morning show, that Ty Simpson had got a $6.5 million offer from some unnamed college school for him to come back and play a year. And it's like, well, if Dante Moore is getting maybe a similar offer, if he's getting anything more than what he would snag in the NFL, you'd have to at least think about it.
Well, he's going 2 overall, though.
He'll be the second quarterback.
Yeah, he may go 1. I mean, the Raiders might like him more than Mendoza. Like, he may end up going 1. So, like, that's a little different. Ty Simpson at 6.5, that would depend on how the NFL views him. Does the NFL view him as a 1? I don't think he's a 1. I would not take him with a first-round pick.
If you bring in Ty Simpson for $6.5 million, you better win the national championship. Like that, you are telling everyone you are national championship.
That's exactly what a school's saying.
And I don't know if he's that guy.
First half of the season, Ty Simpson?
Well, where would that be even? Like, what's the place that's a player away? That's a quarterback away? Is that like Oklahoma?
Maybe.
Like that type of situation?
Tennessee feel they're that team?
Yeah.
I was thinking
probably.
SEC team, if anything.
Yeah.
And the $6.5 million, like, is that a number that the agent threw out there?
Oh, dude, we don't know.
Right?
What's A&M's quarterback situation?
They still have...
They have Reed still?
Yeah, he's just a freshman or redshirt freshman. Yeah, they still have him back. Or sophomore. I think he's a sophomore. So they have their guys sorted. These rosters are just insane. And, you know, we talk about the high end of it, but the bottom, there just aren't enough spots, man. There's not enough spots to go around for all these guys to find homes. And you get led down a path by a parent or by a representative, because when you're in this spot, and this is the other thing, is you're talking about, in some instances, 18, 19, 20-year-olds versus 22, 23, 24-year-olds, which is a big difference. And you're talking about saying, I can get you more. Watch me get you more. Well, some of these guys aren't going to get more. They're not.
So with 28 Ohio State players that have announced plans to go into the transfer portal, only 10 of them have signed. Yeah. So you got 18 kids that are sitting out there and maybe fielding offers, maybe looking around. Fahim Delane, the latest Buckeye to go into the transfer portal. So who's to say that some of these guys don't realize the grass is greener where I was?
Yeah.
And I wonder if like a Mylan Graham says, there's a good chance I could start or at least play a lot. I'm going to come back. I wonder if an Aaron Scott Jr. says, now that I'm looking at it, I probably will start at Ohio State next year. I'll come back and I'm going to play a lot, and I'm sure it's a money thing, and they're trying to get a number that Ohio State wasn't ready to offer them. I know Earl Little Jr. signed, but Ohio State doesn't have a ton of safety depth. Could a Fahim Delane possibly come back? Who knows?
Everything can be a negotiation.
That's that thing I was making about how it can't be personal.
Right. And
and that's hard for young kids.
With the Bo Jackson news, I mean, a true freshman 1,000-yard rusher is saying, all right, so my value to this organization's worth this, so I should be compensated like this. What does that sound like? Everybody in their regular place of employment that's listening to this program right now. Then Peoples and Sam Dixon go into the portal. Okay, well, so now my value's higher.
Yeah.
Because you've lost running back depth. So maybe we now have that conversation about more compensation because my value is higher. Like, I don't fault anybody in this situation. And so I think, to your point, it's super important that you don't let these things get personal. But we've seen with Ohio State and trying to hold them to the fire and try to negotiate at not so great times can get personal.
I said this before, and I really like Bo Jackson. I would not have allowed, and I don't know what happened behind. Only they do. But like, if it was some astronomical number, I'd say, nah, dude, I'm not paying running backs. Like, I treat it like the NFL. I pay quarterbacks, I play corners, receivers, tackles, DNs. Those unless you are a supreme Caleb Downs type. I'm not paying premiums for those positions. And you're going to have to get those things slotted out. Real quickly on this. You guys remember when Matt Campbell left Iowa State and the athletic director was like in tears with losing Matt Campbell to Penn State? You remember this? He had that press conference where so thankful for Matt Campbell, all that stuff. I wonder how thankful he is for Matt Campbell now. Iowa State's entire football roster is in Happy Valley. It's like 20 guys from Iowa State went to Penn State. How do you feel about it now? That's where we're at with this thing. We'll try to do a little bit of a breakdown on where Ohio State stands with a week to go here in the portal. Who's in, who's out, where there's still positions of need. We will get to that coming up at 10 o'clock. We'll do the weekend in sports coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey folks, winter is here. The number one cost for everyone each month are those pesky heating bills that never stop increasing. It is time to take action and do something about it. Call USA Insulation today and get your home insulated with our premium foam for only $99 a month, interest-free. That's right, $99 a month. You can have a warm, cozy home that you and your family deserves. 529-2440, 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
BMI Federal Credit Union has been voted Best Credit Union for the past 8 years in a row. With personalized service and excellent products, BMI FCU is ready to help with all your banking needs. Visit BMIFCU.org to open an account today.
Playoffs? Yeah, we're watching the playoffs at the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Join me, Scotty Vegas, and Dave Biddle from On the Money Saturday, January 17th, starting at 4:30. The inflatable football toss will be out to show off your arm and win prizes. Watch and bet on the playoff games at the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus, where Michigan fans get pie in their face, and you won't find better value than the steak dinner. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
There's no place in hockey where you'll find more passion, more pride, and more boom. Make some memories with the Columbus Dispatch Family Value Pack, presented by ABC6 and Fox 28 at bluejackets.com/family.
Your mornings are jam-packed.
So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
Love football, love wings. Put those bad boys together and you get Austin and Vern live at Roosters.
Presented by Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Large amounts of football and all the donkey sauce you can handle. Mondays on the Fans YouTube channel.
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. It drives us to explore, pushes us to see the world differently, moves us to action. And we believe that today, wonder is more essential than ever. Wow. That's why we're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask big questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Start the year off moving, not hurting. With joint pain, if it's holding you back, listen up. There's a way to get relief without surgery, no downtime, and without putting your life on pause. Dr. Tessner and the other pros right here at QC Kinetics in Columbus, Ohio, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair areas that are causing you the pain. Those achy hips, knees, shoulders, back, wherever it hurts. And the results, 97% of Cleveland patients report satisfaction with the results. So instead of facing an invasive operation that sidelines you for months, these treatments, they happen right in office and you go about your day. I should know. I've had them. My dad has had them. They feel good and they can deliver life-changing results. Imagine moving around better, being stronger, planning the year you actually want. Do not wait. January is supposed to be a clean slate, so make it yours. So go call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Drink recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, and whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
Lots going on the sports calendar. Full NFL. We will get to that coming up a little bit later on, except for the Monday Nighter. Real quickly on the NFL. I mean, it delivers about as good as you can. Just one after another. What happened in Chicago on Saturday night? As someone who grew up a Bears fan, that's impossible. That's just impossible to score 25 in the fourth and beat the Packers. I'm going to be honest, I didn't see it. I thought it was cooked. I bailed. I'm good. I've seen enough. I can't remember. We watched a movie. I can't even remember. Thought, well, game's over. Nothing more to see here. Green Bay's going to handle their business. And then they didn't. And some nervy moments with the Rams and the Panthers in the first game. Pretty crazy on that one. A great one yesterday in the early window with Jacksonville and Buffalo. And then you got obviously the great one between San Francisco and Philly, and then a good one last night as well with the Patriots eventually grinding the Chargers to a halt. It was satisfying seeing Vrabel beat Harbaugh. I do like that. Everything Harbaugh does annoys me. It annoys me that he wears the navy blue, I'm sure as an ode, some sort of homage to Michigan, like he wears the navy blue hat, even though they don't wear navy blue as a primary anymore. Everything he does annoys me. So it was satisfying seeing Braves win that one.
Is there ever, is Harbaugh ever going to be able to make an AFC championship? It feels like he's got his quarterback. He had the team.
Murdered.
Does he?
Well, you couldn't protect him.
I know you don't like him, Bake. I think he does. I think that kid I
think Herbert's the best quarterback he's going to have in his tenure in Los Angeles.
Dude, that kid was a meat grinder.
But they couldn't protect him.
Oh my God. The amount of hits he took.
Which I know you enjoyed.
Oh.
I don't enjoy it.
Wow. Some of those hits he took were just body bag hits.
I just want him to win a game before people tell me he's a top 5 quarterback. That's all.
It's fair.
Just want him to win a big game.
Yeah, he had the one. He has a great comeback in Jackson. Or no, they lost that one.
Yeah, they blew
big.
That game.
They were up and blew it. Yeah, that's his third playoff game. 0-3 in playoff games. So it's amazing too what a quarterback can do. Like New England has a million question marks, but they land Drake May. Quarterback and culture. You get a coach, holds people accountable. You land the franchise quarterback, and you can go from Brady, little bit of downturn, right into Drake May.
And Drake May struggled last night a little bit. He did make some plays.
Yeah.
But he struggled in his first playoff game. That truly was two great defenses on the field last night.
Really
That was if you enjoy defensive football, I feel like Sunday Night Football you love.
That's what I'm saying about Harbaugh. You got a quarterback, you got a defense, and you're out in the wild card.
Yeah. They had a lot of injuries up front, and that's what makes Kyle Shanahan so special. I mean, they have no pass rush. None. Zero. And they go to Philly and win. And Purdy throws 2 picks, and they still win. And George Kittle goes out with an Achilles, and they still win. All right, so West Coast trip, Jackets won 1 of 3 or 1 of 4. Is that what it ended up?
One of the 4. 1 and 3 on the trip.
Okay, yeah, that's not going to get it done. Is this just, Bake, you watch them all, is this just what we can expect? Win one, lose one, win one, lose one, rest of the way?
I mean, I feel like pretty much, like I've said all along, it's just the ebbs and flows of the sport. They're going to win 4 or 5 here at some point. They may lose 4 or 5 as well, like they just lost a few before they won last night. I thought it was interesting that after the Colorado game, they were like, all of them were like, oh, we played so good. You lost 4-0. And I understand,
what are you talking about?
I understand Colorado is real good, but you're like, man, we played really good against that team. Isn't that what you want to be?
And a long way to climb to get there.
The Jackets are. I'm not totally out on the season right now because I will never be. I'm always going to go to every game that I can, and I'm going to watch them all over everything else. But they're teetering on this season being over.
Yeah.
Before the Olympic break, real quick. They've got 7 of 8 coming up at home. 7 of their next 8 here at home in the month of January. They need to try to put some points in the tank here because after that, I don't know what you got to hang your hat on.
Yeah. Who do you think it's more likely is playing relevant sports in mid-February to the beginning of March, the Blue Jackets or the Buckeye basketball team?
Oh, the Buckeye basketball team to me is cooked because we talked about their February schedule. I think if the Buckeye basketball team made the NCAA tournament, I'd be shocked.
I only think because you can make a run in the Big Ten tournament.
Oh, I don't.
And I'm saying that trying to hold back.
They don't have the bench to do that.
Yeah, they don't even. I mean, the depth is now. If it wasn't a question last week, it's even greater now because you don't have Brandon Knoll and you don't know about Christoph Tilley. Jake Diebler's show will be tomorrow at noon, so we'll figure out more on that then. But they have a week off till UCLA. The only reason, I'm saying the basketball Buckeyes is because there's a chance if they make a run in the Big Ten tournament, they can maybe add a quad 1 or a couple quad 1 wins and play in Dayton the first 4 weekend.
Yeah, I don't think they have the horses for that. I don't. I think you're looking at probably what we've been here for a while now, and I think it's a long dig out, bigger dig out. The thing is, there should be no digging out in college basketball. Just go get your guys. But where's you got to pay for them, and you got to decide what's important. There's a million ways to build it. I mean, you think about Nebraska sitting there at 16-0 and top the league. Purdue builds it a certain way. Michigan obviously was very big in the portal and brought in some guys. Those are the teams that are the class of the league. Michigan State obviously does what they do. Illinois is very good. I don't see it. I don't. I mean, I think you're going to have this pattern of much like the Blue Jackets, win one, lose one, repeated over and over.
Bo, in the 6 games since Amari Bynum has moved from the bench to the starting lineup, 6 games, Ohio State has 40 bench points. In 2 of those games, they had 0 points. In 3 of those games, all of the bench points came from one person. Cups in 1, Yugovin last night.
Because you had to have Yugovin out there because you didn't have any more size.
Ivan Yugovin looks like, this may not even be fair to Serge Zwicker, but like some of those Greg Ostertag and those guys from back in the early, like the big 7-footers that used to run college basketball, like there's just no athletic ability.
Well, you'd kill to have one of those cats, though. Those guys were NBA guys.
Yeah, but it's a different game. It's a different game now, though.
It is. You'd still kill to have them, though. I mean, we're a long way from that, buddy. I always go back to this when it comes to men's college basketball. You got to have pros. You got to have pros. You don't have to have Darren Peterson. You don't have to have top picks in the draft, but you got to have some guys that are pros. And that's the thing that has kind of been what's held them back a little bit. So they're off all week. They're here against UCLA on Saturday. Get back to the Buckeye football side of thing. Where does this Buckeye roster as it stands right now? Where are there still positions of need here with what amounts to about the next 4 days in the portal? We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Tri-State Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Tri-State Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville.
Weekend. The Ohio RV and Boat Show, brought to you in part by Ohio Credit Union, is back and bigger than ever at the Ohio Expo Center. Whether it's your first adventure or you're a seasoned outdoor enthusiast, this show has it all. One ticket gets you into all 3 buildings so you can see the latest in RVs, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, golf carts, and more. From towables to drivers, jet skis to pontoons, and more. It's all here. The Ohio RV and Boat Show at the Ohio Expo Center, January 9th through 18th. Get details and tickets at OhioRVandBoatShow.com.
All the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My furnace stopped working. Your competition said it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion. Replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Right now, save on new 2026 Tucson with 0.99% financing for up to 60 months. Columbus or Dublin or glexhyundai.com. With approved credit. Ends 2/2.
Chris Stapleton's All-American Road Show. Saturday, August 1st at Paycor Stadium with special guests Lainey Wilson and Alan Stone. You're in with Verizon Access. Pre-sale tickets beginning Tuesday 10 a.m. before the public on sale Friday 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're cold in your home, even with the heat on, your old windows are the problem. Window Nation makes it easy with their Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale. Plus, you could get no payments, no interest for 2 years. Hurry, the sale ends soon, so schedule your free estimate now. WindowNation.com.
It's the biggest sale of the year, the Right Rug Flooring Clearance Sale. Save on thousands of in-stock styles, including carpet starting at 35 cents a square foot. Luxury vinyl starts at 43 cents a square foot. Hardwood and laminate start at 99 cents. Prices are material only. Unbelievable deals on beautiful quality floors. Next day installation and 24-month special financing available with approved credit. Hurry, the Right Rug Flooring Clearance Sale ends January 25th. Right here, right now.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. College football's transfer portal window closes on Friday. The Buckeyes have signed 6 players to their roster, including former Florida State safety Earl Little, who committed to Ohio State on Sunday. Buckeyes have lost 28 players from their roster, including safety Fahim Delane. The College Football National Championship games next Monday in Miami. The Indiana Hoosiers are a 7.5-point favorite over the Miami Hurricanes. In the NFL, wildcard weekend wraps up tonight in Pittsburgh. The Steelers host the Texans at 8:15. You can hear that one on the Fan following the Buckeye Show. In NFL news, ESPN says the Packers are working to keep head coach Matt LaFleur. Green Bay was knocked out by Chicago over the weekend. And in college hoops, Ohio State lost at Washington 81-74. Christoph Tilley left in the second half with a rib injury. Buckeyes are going to host UCLA Saturday at noon. This update is sponsored by Eco Plumbers. Get $500 in free plumbing services when you buy a new water heater. Visit geteco.com and book today.
Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, since I don't have access to a veterinarian as I'm doing the show live, I'm going to lean on you because you have more years of in-the-house dog ownership than I do under my belt. So I'm relying on you and Odie right now. So I think I said this before. Buddy Garrity had an ear infection, which got, I think they call them like hot spots for their golden retriever. He's a golden. And so like it became a hot spot like down in his neck, and he just scratched the living heck out of it. And to the point where he bled, right? And this is where the boy thought it was ringworm. It's not ringworm. It wasn't any of that. It was this. This is what it was. And so we got him on some meds, and it had all scabbed over, and it was looking like we're headed in the right direction. And then this morning, he scratched the living hell out of it. Scab completely off, blood everywhere. Now, it's not like oozing blood, but there's definitely blood. And how the hell do you prevent him from doing that?
Would a cone of shame have prevented it?
No, because it goes right. I thought about that because we still have it from when we took his testes, and which was a sad day, and it goes right on where it is. So how do I keep him from? Because now I got to start the whole process over.
Yeah, it's a frustrating thing. Odie had something similar on his ear, and it cuts on the ear, can bleed like crazy. And you just have to, this is going to be tough. You're going to have to monitor it as much as possible. He cannot leave your sight if you really want this. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, he's a very outdoor dog.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a little cold now, but like he likes being outdoors and running around and doing those things. Yeah.
I'd say try the cone. See if he focuses on that more than the neck. And then watch him as much as possible and try to make it. I don't know how understood you can make it in a day where don't do that. But
I'm trying to give him chew toys to keep him occupied.
Guys, we have a little breaking news. Reese, in your update, you announced that Ohio State had signed 6 guys from the portal. That is 7 now, as they have got a commitment from Duke safety Terry Moore. So the Buckeyes, 2 safeties in the last 2 days.
Well, they had to redo that room. Am I supposed to come on here and tell you what Terry Moore is?
Former Duke standout is what I've heard.
That's it.
Well, all right. So where does he rank?
Tell Buddy Garrity that and see if his focus shifts to Ohio State in the transfer portal. He stops going at his neck.
All right. So let's see I'll just use this from I'll just use 24/7 because I'm assuming that they did the work. So the number 3 transfer portal was Earl Little Jr., who Ohio State got over the weekend. I did get a I got a scouting report from that buddy of mine I was talking about him. He said makes plays, makes some mistakes too. Really liked his potential, but at the same time, I mean, this is if you think. I mean, obviously Caleb Downs is one of one, but like that type of thing isn't going to happen anymore. Where you have that type of a situation. So what's this guy's name again? Something Moore?
Terry Moore. It looks like he didn't play last year.
Was he? Must have been hurt. Huh?
Yeah, he could have been hurt. I don't see. I'm just kind of looking and seeing why, but I was looking at ESPN on his stats in 2024. He had 71 tackles, 1 sack, 2 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions.
You know what I also thought about Buddy Garrity? Do you guys give him a sweatshirt? Do you guys put anything on him, like a sweater or anything?
Mm-mm.
Do you have a...
He hates them.
Yeah, so does Odie. A hooded sweatshirt that would have... Like, there's those newer Nike ones that have, like, they're not turtlenecks, but they almost kind of they almost are. And we have one for Odie that goes above, like almost above his neck, and just anything to cover that isn't going to stick, or you're going to have to worry about it adhering, might be a good solution. Like if one of your boys has sort of a hooded sweatshirt you can use to kind of have padding in and around that area that wouldn't necessarily be the cone of shame. And I know I'm trying to show
that's a good idea
in an audio medium. We've done that with Odie too.
All right. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't mind that. That might work. Throw an old hoodie on him. See if that can get us through the day here. Anyway, I don't even see this guy in the portal.
So, Bo, I've got a little more on him here.
Give me some details. What are we dealing
2024 second-team All-American by the Action Network. He's a former running back that transitioned to safety in the spring of 2023. It does not say why he did not play last year, but he did not play, so I'm guessing obviously some kind of injury there for him. Second team All-ACC selection, started all 13 games in 2024. Second highest grade from Pro Football Focus among safeties nationally in 2024.
Yeah.
So that's nice to hear.
It's also pretty wild that like two guys who there's no chance Ohio State had an interest in the recruiting process, or at least my guess is they had very little to do on the recruiting process, are now coming in here. Like, what is happening is it kids don't get a chance? And I'm asking, I don't know. Do kids not get the same chance to develop when they come in as true freshmen, develop into starters? Do they not have the patience for it? Do they just want the instant gratification of it all? Or do they think they're worth more because they put on scarlet and gray, and instead we go like this? You said this guy was a running back out of high school who they transitioned to a safety at Duke. Like, there's no way Ohio State would have been on the mix on him as a recruit. None. And I'd be shocked if they were on Earl Little either as a recruit.
I don't know if this changes anything either, but it says he's already graduated from Duke, so maybe he's a grad transfer. Maybe that's why there was no I don't know how that all goes with the transfer portal, but...
Yeah, I'm pulling up Little. So as a prospect, well, he was a 4-star prospect out of high school. Let's see who his American Heritage. That's where Jeremiah went, right? Yeah, his offers were Bama, his interests were Bama, USC, Florida State, Oregon. Those were the... His
dad played at Texas, is that correct?
I know he played for the Browns.
I think 6 seasons with the Browns.
Yeah.
I think to answer your question, yes. Like of Ohio State's 28 portal persons, each of them has a different reason, and it varies based off of how long they've been in Columbus for why they should go into the transfer portal.
Yeah, I'm just looking at like the depth chart to just see like where else are they needed. Obviously, they need to get safety buttressed up quite a bit. To me, they still need to do quite a bit of work on the defensive front. That would be something that, especially defensive end, that to me seems like something that needs to be addressed in a pretty big way. They seem fine. They're great at linebacker. They need some corners. They need to get some corners.
And they need a kicker. They have no kicker on the roster right now.
Need a kicker.
They offered a kid for 2026, but you got to have a little bit more than that.
I'm just looking at like the roster here from a, even at receiver, there's no depth there. Is the idea that it's going to be Jeremiah, Brandon Ennis, and Chris Henry Jr.?
I mean, you don't.
Yeah, I believe
you
so.
have that.
He better be.
You don't.
Chris better be ready to go.
You got Phillip Bell, DZ Jones, and Devin McEwen, who just transferred in.
McEwen's
as
a good player.
backups.
Yeah.
I think McEwen is probably real similar to Bryson Rogers.
Okay.
So kind of Bryson Rogers left, and he can come in and fill the Bryson Rogers role, whatever that was.
I'd be shocked if I'd be a little not shocked. I'd be a little surprised if any of the receivers who are in the portal returned. I think they're gonzo. And maybe I don't know. I haven't heard anything on Quincy Porter. He was a 5-star kid out of high school. I haven't heard anything on him.
I think
in terms of
I think
or did
I
he
saw
do something I
something
missed
that
it?
he was visiting somewhere. Was it Texas? Maybe he was visiting. He had a visit somewhere this weekend.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got 4 days to kind of get this done. But to me, as I look at needs as we stand right now, you'd probably like a little bit more on the offensive front. You'd probably, I don't know if there's anybody receiver-wise that would really float your boat. You're going to need defensive ends still, and you definitely need corners at this point. You got your safety situation relatively sorted.
Yeah, Portal's crystal balled to Notre Dame.
Who is?
Quincy Porter.
Really?
Bo, I wonder if they're waiting on the defensive end front. So you've got Zion Grady, who you saw a little bit of this year. You've got Joshua Mickens, a couple young guys. Bo Atkinson has another year, and you haven't heard anything on him, so he'll be here. I wonder if they're waiting to hear what Kenyatta Jackson is going to do before they make a move on that front. If he's going to return or if he's going to head to the NFL draft.
Well, there was also, and I got this from the Florida side of things. There's a defensive end from Florida State. Yeah, Daryl Desir. Is that who that is? Yeah, I think that's who it. Look, I mean, we're trying to know these kids. Yeah, there's an edge from Florida State who I think that they would have a lot of interest in, Daryl Desir, who I think could be in the mix as well. And this is coming from the FSU side. I had a long talk with a buddy of mine at FSU, and he's like, dude, Florida State's a feeder program. I'm like, sorry, buddy. I don't know how that happened, but that's where they're at. Actually, I do know how it happened. So while all of this was going on, Florida State did a $130 million indoor facility and a $300 million stadium renovation. So when you do that, you can't do all this.
Yeah. Money goes to the facilities. There's less room for other players. CBS Sports is now reporting Oregon's landed the commitment from Dylan Raiola. So take that for whatever it's worth, because he's committed several times in his high school/college career.
Yeah. So he must be going there to start, and they must be thinking Dante Moore's out. I'm surprised.
What a downgrade.
What a downgrade. Oregon. Oh, my God. And from Lanning's standpoint, that he would want to get into bed with that guy. That makes me think that they thought they were getting Damon Williams.
And Lanning seems,
and they panicked.
That's desperate.
It is. I'd much rather go get Sam Levitt. It seems like they have infinite money. I would go there. I wouldn't want to play the Dylan Raiola game. No thanks. I'm good on that side of things. It is rare that the NFL coaching search provides some sanity, but when you're talking about college football, it does. We'll get into the very latest on that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more. Designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary. Save a good deal more during the Meijer Dollar Deal Sale, January 7th through the 20th. Shop the entire store and choose from hundreds of items, all $1 each. Fill your basket with favorites like Kraft macaroni and cheese, sparkling ice, sparkling water, select varieties of seedless cucumbers, and Meijer facial tissue. The Meijer Dollar Deal Sale. That's the good life, a good deal better. And don't forget to stop by the Meijer Pharmacy for your flu shot. Available today while you shop. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com for details.
If you win playing the new Ultimate $5 million scratch-off, you don't have to tell anyone. But there will be signs. Signs like courtside seats. Signs like a water slide attached to your bedroom. Signs like upgrading your clunker to something less clunky. With over $200 million in prizes and the best odds in Ohio history to win $5 million, this is your sign to play the Ultimate $5 million scratch-off. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Now's the time to buy or renew your 2026 dog licenses. Not only are dog licenses required by law, but fees support the Franklin County Dog Shelter and Adoption Center. Buy or renew your dog licenses today at franklincountyauditor.com.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
Educators have powerful voices, and in 2026, educators are using their voices to speak up and demand the funding, resources, and support our students need to learn, grow, and thrive. We are standing united for our students because we are stronger together.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For today, expect a mostly sunny start to the work week with highs a lot warmer than yesterday, getting into the low 40s. However, with breezy winds, we'll have that wind chill in place. For tonight, mostly clear overnight with our lows in the upper 20s. And then for Tuesday, a nice mix of sun and clouds and milder with breezy winds continuing and highs in the upper 40s to low 50s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
1, 2, 3. Football season is weird because we actually look forward to Mondays. It's Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. The best hair on the air. You are listening to Bishop and Friends.
And as always, we are proudly brought to you by our great friends at Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over nearly 80 years. They are my guys. They will take care of you on that front, I do assure you. Reese, you had it in the update. Matt LaFleur looking like he's going to get an extension in Green Bay, or they're working on an extension in Green Bay.
Yeah, ESPN's reporting is they want to keep him.
Yeah, I bet they do. I think he's done a pretty dang good job there. He really mismanaged the fourth quarter of the football game, and that's a tough one to probably live with. But I do think it's been just stunning to me how some of these folks, like NFL football, almost like some of these NFL teams are viewing themselves as college teams. Like if they don't win the Super Bowl, they got to fire everybody. Like in Philly. Like everyone was so pissed off yesterday in Philly because they lost a playoff game to San Francisco where they had the ball in their quarterback's hands with a minute to go inside their own territory going in, and if you just make a throw, you probably beat the Niners in a playoff game coming off a year in which you win the Super Bowl and you're going to run the coach? People want to run Sirianni?
Well, what about tonight?
Right.
In a game you can hear right here on the Fan between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, like where did this come from that, like, if you don't win the Super Bowl, you're out? I mean, just think about John Harbaugh being available. Just think if Mike Tomlin loses tonight and decides there's a parting of the ways in Pittsburgh. I don't think he'd be run, but if there was a parting of the ways in Pittsburgh and he hit the open market, they're going to be able to name their price. They're going to be able to have pick of whatever they want. And One thing I was wrong about, I thought potentially, or at least so far it appears I'm wrong about, I thought potentially Washington could preemptively jump in on the Harbaugh thing and make a change at the top with Dan Quinn and bring in John Harbaugh. Of the jobs that are open, there was a report over the weekend that Harbaugh was kind of watching film on Jackson Dart and Cam Ward. Were kind of the two guys that he was keeping a close eye on. And Jackson Dart, remember at the Ole Miss playoff game, had that out there with the lip reading that it was either Harbaugh or Stefanski. Was kind of the idea of that. So something to watch for there. But Harbaugh out there, he is waiting. The Browns are interviewing Mike McDaniel today. I saw that information get out there. It's interesting how the Rams are handling things. I'm sorry, not the Rams. The Ravens are handling things. There was no notice or reporting that Kevin Stefanski was going to interview for the Ravens job. And then all of a sudden the Ravens put a tweet out on Friday. We concluded our interview with Kevin Stefanski for our open coaching position. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. There have been 6 of them fired. You got 8 openings as it stands right now. One other thing that's a little bit interesting on this is this trend of, and Tom Brady was the first of it, and then we had it over the weekend, Matt Ryan hired as president of football operations. The difference here, and I have to assume that Fox is going to be in the same spot with Brady. I don't know how long you can continue this. Matt Ryan is not going to continue at CBS on the studio. So he is going to go be the Atlanta Falcons president. He's going to run the Falcons.
They've already said that. In fact, I believe they said his last day was yesterday, right? And they talked about it. He talked about leaving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, so I can't believe Fox has not done that. I cannot believe that the NFL allows Brady to conduct interviews for the head coaching position with the Raiders while commenting on games on Sundays. And by the way, I think he's gotten a lot better. But to me, he's got to pick one here.
Well, I think, and I wonder what the financial investment in Matt Ryan was relative to Tom Brady. Because I think when they signed him, they had him maybe the next week, and they're up front, like talking to advertisers. And
Brady with Fox, you mean?
Brady with Fox, I mean. Yeah, Matt Ryan is great in his job as a CBS analyst, but it was like Fox put a lot of their NFL coverage into, we've got Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But it is weird, because I don't know Troy Aikman still doing ESPN games as he's working with the Dolphins on their coaching search. Like, it's all gray.
I think all these guys are putting the pressure on the NFL and their current employers, right? I mean, it's a lot of pressure that's on Fox to kind of stand up for this with Brady and fight the league on it. And the league, of course, they pay the league a great deal of money, so they have some ability to kind of push back. But I think ESPN's going to be the same spot with Aikman. If he takes a formal position with the Dolphins, he's going to be in the same spot. I just don't think you can do both. I don't think you can go into team facilities. And I know Brady didn't go into facilities. You can still call games when you're not doing that. But you're in those venues, man. And you're walking and you're talking to players and all of those things happen. Even if it's done via Zoom, you're still having those conversations. And to me, it's kind of bad form to be able to do it. I do think the Mike McDaniel interview up in Cleveland is interesting today. Mike was there with Kyle Shanahan when Shanahan was the offensive coordinator that year with Johnny. And he's the one who, that very famous play where they run Johnny over and he acts like he's talking on the sideline and then they send him out for a pass. Mike McDaniel's standing right next to Kyle when they do that play. Mike is brilliant as an offensive game planner. He's fun to deal with, all of those things. Would he play well, and would he keep that defensive staff intact? And how would he work with Jim Schwartz? And then the thing that you don't know is what's happening behind the scenes in terms with the Browns. Like, are they saying that that's part of it? Andrew Berry said no in regard to Shedeur Sanders, that the coach could have the say to go however they want at quarterback. They're not married to any quarterback on the roster. But at the same time, there was ownership up there talking about who wouldn't want to work with Jim Schwartz and have this great defense and all of that. So it's a little tougher of a needle to thread in the position they're in, where you have a championship Super Bowl worthy defense, a defensive staff that's elite. I mean, they really have Schwartz as the coordinator, but any one of those 3 guys who are prominent position coaches with Lynch and Bonda and obviously Tarv, all of those guys could handle it, being defensive coordinator. So it's an elite group on that side of things, but it's going to be a massive rebuild on the other side offensively. And then how do you play in the sandbox with kind of an arranged marriage? So that's the tricky part up there. I think if Harbaugh, and this isn't scores, this is just some common sense. Like if there was any scenario where John Harbaugh picked up a phone, like I think in that instance you say, "What do you want?" That's kind of where it is, and so we'll kind of see where all of that shakes out. But I think the first domino that's going to fall is more than likely than not going to be Harbaugh.
Yeah, I think if John or John's representation were to call up Jimmy Haslam and say, "I need this, I want this," he's probably given it. I know there was that reporting that John was going to take a week, and then he had like 3 or 4 teams that he was going to speak with in regards to what he wants to do, because he can pick any job in the league except for the Baltimore Ravens. I'm probably doing this with orange and brown colored glasses, glass half full type of thinking. If you've got Jim Schwartz in the defense already, I think that's a bonus for a coach that comes in and wants to win, not right away, but wants to win soon. You don't have any of that to worry about. Now, I know there are some coaches that are like, no, I want to do things my way with my own people. But I'd almost argue that, like, if Jim Schwartz and the defense, they've got everything under control. All you need to do is make sure the quarterback situation's better and the talent around said quarterback are better. And Cleveland does offer you that opportunity at least.
It does. It also, to me, it would take you out of any defensive first coach, because they're going to want to run their stuff.
Sure.
So it takes you out of that. I mean, it basically leads you to the CEO type or offensive mastermind type.
Bo, I've been looking into the Browns coaching search here a little bit this weekend, and I think every NFL team, if Harbaugh says I'm coming, that's their number one. I think every NFL opening, Harbaugh's their number one. I kind of got the feeling that if Matt LaFleur become available, he would go to the top of Cleveland's list, but that doesn't look like that's happening now.
No.
So if that doesn't happen, I kind of got the feeling that maybe it would be Jim Schwartz. For 2 reasons. One, the players love him and the defense is good and the continuity. And then 2, I feel like they really like Tommy Rees and they would like to keep him in the organization. And he's a very bright, young offensive mind. I mean, you can tell that just by how many places he's been already, how many big-time jobs people have wanted him for. But I've also started to hear some things about maybe a little bit of an ego here with Tommy Rees, and he might be difficult to deal with sometimes. And I just wondered if that was true at all, because you just kind of go down these rabbit holes and hear some things. And I was just wondering if there was any truth to the ego.
All these guys have egos, though, right? At least shouldn't they?
Well, that was just the nice way of putting it, I guess.
Yeah.
I've never seen that with Tommy. James worked with Tommy at Notre Dame, and he never said anything about that. I haven't seen it firsthand. All I can go is with and it's not like I'm in coaches' meetings or anything, but like I can't speak to that. I think that if Schwartz were to be elevated, then, and here's the thing, you're going to have 3 guys who could be, I mean, like Bonda interviewed for is it the Texans opening? Or he interviewed for an opening last week on defensive coordinator. Oh, Cowboys defensive coordinator last week, and Brandon Lynch and Tarver would have that as well. So if you elevate, then you could maybe go in that direction, but we'll see. But still, a lot to shake out on the NFL side of things. Austin Ward in 2 minutes. The very latest on this Buckeye roster. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. One of the great annoyances in life, at least for me, is the check engine light, right? You get in your car, you see the check engine light, and you go, I got to take care of that. I don't know what it is. So you let it sit there forever. It bugs you, and eventually a bigger problem happens. Well, every day in your house, your check engine light might be on, but it's not your engine. It's your windows, because you sit down on your couch, you feel the cold, drafty air coming in through your windows, and you go, I got to do something about these windows. But just like the check engine light, I'm afraid of how much it's going to cost, and I don't know where to go. I can't help you with your check engine light, but I can help you with your windows. Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows Free sale is going on now. Stop wasting money by letting the warm air in your house escape through your cold, drafty windows. You're spending more on your heating bills when you don't have to. Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows Free sale is the perfect time to address this problem. Plus, 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. That could be yours as well. Schedule an estimate today. WindowNation.com.
Come into your local AAA Tire and Auto Service and save up to $30 on auto repair with their AAA Triple Play. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid through January 31st. See store for details.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
There's a light that only shines when we believe. A light that doesn't flicker, it explodes. We don't wait for the light at the end of the tunnel. We light it ourselves. The cannon is primed, Fifth Line. Tickets on sale now at bluejackets.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
He knows everything about the Buckeyes. He's been offered tens of dollars by a certain team to spill his secrets. He's told that certain team to go to hell.
Damn you all to hell!
He's Austin Ward.
And he joins on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, we got till Friday on this thing. Is that how long we're still in this nonsense?
Yes, sir. But, and then Miami and Indiana get to deal with it 5 days after the national championship game. So if we all want to just celebrate the fact that the transfer portal is technically going to have some openings until next week, let's do that, Bo, because this is all very fun.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. It's so much fun. How would you say Ohio State's doing right now in all this?
I think that from the outside, I understand that it is a tremendous amount of attrition, that it feels like Ohio State is underwater. That is not the sense inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. And whether that is real confidence, false confidence, I guess we're going to wait and see how this process plays out. But, there have only been a couple surprises at this point in terms of departures. There have only been, and some of this when it comes down to, they're missing out on a couple targets that they were aggressively pursuing. Some, I would say, the perception of those battles depends on your perspective if you're in the program or out of the program, because the information and the situation changes. So all of that is to say, Bo, that it is difficult, I think, to sit here and say, well, they're absolutely winning. The plan is going perfectly, because I don't know no plan goes perfectly. I don't think it is one that has been viewed as a colossal failure. And the one thing I would say, if that is coming across too optimistic, given the numbers and the needle that they have to thread here, I do think that Ohio State may have made it more difficult on itself by signing 28 kids in December in the signing period and committing that amount of resources. That may have been a part of the plan. That was an adjustment that they made to be more aggressive in building their roster with those high school seniors and filling it out, backfilling it in a lot of ways to prepare for the transfer portal. That may not have been an approach that is going to work moving forward, where you need to be paying players that are going to contribute right away. And so that has, I think, made the margin for error smaller than Ohio State might have anticipated in December. So again, that doesn't mean that the plan is going exactly the way they envisioned, but there's a plan B and a plan C that I think they have put into use that is probably working better than they're getting credit for.
Yeah, and this is the thing that I think especially around here, you just have to get used to. You're not going to get everybody that you want.
That's never happened.
No, it's over. That part is over. That is in the rear view. And what we have, earlier in the show, I just kind of went over top portal players and where they ended up. It's complete parity. They're all over everywhere. Like it's where you have money. Where are you worried about fit? Or are you worried about biggest paycheck? Some kids have different whys. Who knows? But you're never going to keep them all. And so, I think you want to keep your guys who matter the most first, and then build off from there, and then try to backfill. And it seems like what they're trying to do. Is there who are a couple of guys in the portal that if from the Ohio State perspective, I'm talking about Buckeyes in the portal, that they're like, man, how did that happen? We really had a big plan for him next year.
Yeah, I think Aaron Scott remains at the top of that list. When you're, Ohio State's been aggressive clearly here at safety and picking up Earl Little to play in the nickel spot and getting Terry Moore, to potentially fill the Caleb Downs role, as challenging as that is. That stuff I think was likely to happen no matter what, because those departures with Lorenzo and Caleb Downs were known. I think if you were building out a depth chart, a top three, a three-man rotation at corner, Aaron Scott was highly likely to be in that. Now, that puts you in this spot where the negotiations become more complicated. Do you think if you're paying Jermaine Matthews extensively, which that's what I think will happen. I don't know if Jermaine has publicly confirmed those plans or not, but we've thought for several months that Jermaine would be returning. If you have Devin Sanchez, he is also not playing for free. Those become trickier. You have a limited amount of cap resources, and I know that there are people that hate that I say that, because there is no actual hard limit on spending, but there is if you don't have a limitless amount of money and you have to allocate those resources. I think Aaron Scott and then replacing that at corner is probably more challenging than Ohio State would have anticipated. When you look elsewhere, I think based on what I said about Earl Little and Terry Moore, someone like Fahim Delane, a backup safety, his decision may be more tied to playing time and those guys coming in and essentially going straight to the starting lineup. So those, I struggle to find like true surprises. Quincy Porter, Mylan Graham, who, the door is potentially still open for him at wide receiver, Aaron Scott, Bryce West, those guys who are on the cusp, who spent, multiple seasons in the program and were even if they weren't were going to be key backups. That's where the difficulty lies. But when you're evaluating this, as of right now, Bo, on Monday, and there's 5 days to go of this chaos, like Tegra Shabola is technically the only starter that is in there. And maybe we would have been having a different conversation if the Bo Jackson negotiations and that contract had gone a different way last week. But to your point, this is the adjustment. If you are keeping your starting lineup and the majority of your backups, that is when we're talking about a philosophical shift for Ohio State. It is to an NFL-sized roster of players that are contributing for you, and then you're spending accordingly based off of that, instead of having 65, 75 4- and 5-star players littering your depth chart. Those are the days that are well and truly gone.
They're totally gone. And that, just two bits of breaking news, one that's locked in. It looks like blueandgold.com reporting that Quincy Porter going to Notre Dame. He'd been kind of rumored there, but it sounds like he is committed there. There's a story already on 3 on that. And it sounds like Mylan, a lot of whispers that Mylan could be headed there too to Notre Dame. So that's part of it. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine from Florida State, and he gave me some defensive end who wasn't even in the portal that he was hearing about was coming up here. Desir, something like that. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, what are we doing? This is what, just so the fans understand, you and I are knee deep in the muck on this, you even more so than me, but guys aren't even in the portal, and everybody's tampering. Like, they're begging, you're contacting people, asking them to get in the portal, and then trying to make it work. And then once they get in the portal, then everybody knows about it, and then everybody offers them.
And there's another factor in that, because a lot of the tampering, Bo, is the agents looking to see what the options are to then take that back to the negotiating table to the team where you already play.
Right.
So some of this is from the programs and trying to attack their roster, and some of it, and I would argue maybe even a larger portion of it than we realize, are the agents trying to get a feel, trying to find some shred of an offer elsewhere to then take that back to the conversation, to the place where you already play. And a lot of that stuff that you're hearing that is back channel, that is leaked, that amount of money is not real. Like some of these deals that they're taking to the table and say, well, this is what X is going to offer. You're going to need to match that, or they're going. I know of a healthy handful right off the top of my head of guys who went to their school, asked for an amount of money, and then had to swallow their pride and take 40% or less of what they were asking for from their original school because they didn't want to go back and admit that they were wrong. And
yes,
again, that's anecdotal. I'm not saying that's happening in every single case, but if you're not a quarterback or a left tackle, like, you need to check out what the NFL pay scale is, and then that's where you need to figure out what your dollar sign and your worth is going to be, at least if you're dealing with a smart and fiscally responsible program, which that's the fifth part of this discussion that we're not getting to, is that some programs are just going to, go all in on one or two players that they think make a difference at one position and spend accordingly. Ohio State will lose some of these battles because they cannot afford to compete with 129 other programs at every second of every day throughout the year. They have to stick to their plan, and like I said at the start, if they execute it perfectly, no plan is going to be perfect. If they execute it to 70%, they're still going to have one of the 5 most expensive and best rosters in college football, period.
Yeah. And what you're going to have is a playoff that has a bunch of faces that are going to be turning over year after year. The days of the same 4 or 5 teams, it's over, and we have proof of that for next Monday night when we have Miami and Indiana, of all teams, playing for the national title. Hey, do you know where we were 11 years ago today?
11 years ago today. Take me back to that, bro. That sounds
simpler
like
time.
Yeah, I mean, take me back to last week and put me in the Camelback instead. But it is funny though. We think about all this stuff, Bo, and what's going right, what's going wrong, the chaos for Ohio State. The 2 teams that are playing for the national championship are the only 2 teams that beat Ohio State. That's not bad. I nobody loves silver linings around here, but it is a reminder that the roof is still on the Woody, and they do seem to know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to follow this the rest of the week. I'm excited for it to be over so you can have a little bit of a breather, buddy. We'll talk again soon, my friend.
All right, appreciate you, bud. See ya.
All right, there he goes. Austin Ward, The Beat with Austin Berman, the Roosters live show, 10 TV Plus on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer, or Wegmans.
This is the Daily Show with Coach Jake Diebler, brought to you by Encova Insurance. Final score today here in Seattle, 81-74. Ohio State falls to Washington. Jake certainly having to operate in the second half without Christoph Tilley. That didn't help things any for your team, did it?
No, it didn't. But listen, we're built to handle adversity well, and I thought our effort was really good. I thought there were times we didn't finish plays well enough. When your margin shrinks, when you're missing a guy like Tilley, it shrinks your margins, and we got to convert dunks and layups at the rim. We got to finish plays with a rebound on the other side and get them late in the clock and keep the ball out of the paint. So it was kind of those little things. There were enough of those little things that gave them some separation. But, proud of the way our guys battled. Wasn't enough to get the job done.
All right, we'll have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the court. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. Basketball is full of challenging shots, and life can be too. With Encova, you don't have to do it alone. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
81-74 the final. Washington with the victory.
Coach, love the way your team started up by 7 right around the 18-minute mark, and then Washington goes on a 14-0 run. What was happening during that 4 minutes time frame when they were able to get that type of separation?
Well, I think, Ron, we had a couple of defensive breakdowns, and then I want to say it was offensive rebound in there, and then we had some empty offensive possessions. I had a chance to to finish, had some good looks, didn't. They went on a run. I think we had a turnover or two in that stretch as well.
Jake, it's no surprise to any of us that watch your team all the time, but Bruce Thornton with 28 points, that was a Warrior-like game for him out there.
When your team's going through adversity in a game, you need guys to step up, and Bruce stepped up in a huge way. Man, was he really good. I wish we could have had one or two other guys step up as much as he did, but we had a couple guys who couldn't quite step up when we needed them, and it's part of the game, right? Like it's basketball. So Bruce's leadership, his effort, his scoring, all of it, really, really, really good. And he gave us a fighting chance down the stretch.
It's the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone. Now through February 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 26 Corolla or Corolla Hybrid. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a new gas-powered Corolla LE for $209 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
The more you buy, the more you save. Buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with your card. Philadelphia cream cheese, Progresso soup, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's Timmy Hall and AI Common Man. Happy to ring in another year with our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Mikey, do you want to be a millionaire? Hollywood is the place to do it.
From now until March 25th, you have the chance to win $1 million instantly. And here's something Mikey likey. All new brunch items at the Sportsbook Restaurant and Bar, like Biscoff stuffed French toast, country Benedict, or roast beef hash skillet. Yummy.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie, and once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, let's do a little thing or not a thing on a Monday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All right, we've talked about the really good Monday for Notre Dame on the recruiting front. Mylan Graham, Quincy Porter. I saw this from the New York Post, where head coach Marcus Freeman was accused of battery by an assistant wrestling coach at an Indiana high school event following his son's match earlier in the month. This is reporting from the South Bend Tribune. Notre Dame pushed back against the allegations. The meet happened on January 3rd, which is where the alleged altercation took place at a wrestling invitational for his son, Vinny. Police report was filed following the incident, and an investigation was conducted by local police. No charges are expected to be filed. Notre Dame said Vinny Freeman, head coach Marcus Freeman's son, was verbally accosted during and after his wrestling match by a local wrestling coach. Marcus and Joanna Freeman intervened and removed Vinny from the situation. Notre Dame adds at no point did Coach Freeman physically engage with anyone. We believe the police report, which includes video evidence, fully exonerates Coach Freeman and makes clear these accusations are totally unfounded. End quote. Thing or not a thing?
Not a thing because of the last line. Police report, video, unfounded. You guys aren't in this world, and I'm not in this.
Sounds like a nightmare.
At this level, like high school, I'll get there soon. NBC's in 8th grade. It's a mess. It's really tough. There's a lot of bad agents, man. There's a lot of bad agents in youth sports. There's a lot of bad agents in high school sports. There's a lot of jerks. There just are. And so nothing surprises me in any of this, but what would have been shocking is if Marcus, who is so measured and so aware of everything around him, how he's perceived all of it, if he had gone off half-cocked and done something silly with all that he has at stake, that would have been the thing. Him behaving as you should behave, not a thing, because that's who he is.
This is not a thing, and I will tell you how we know this is not a thing, because this took about 10 days to get out for people to talk about. If this would have been something where Marcus Freeman really did assault this guy and physically go after him, we would have known on January 3rd when it happened. But it took almost 10 days for any of us to hear about this. They said there's video that proves this, so no, this is not a thing.
Just the absolute audacity by somebody to chirp at Marcus Freeman, who I'm sure is not a small human.
No, but it's wrestling, dude. I told the boys this. I told the boys this. I just had this conversation with NBC like 10 days ago, and he's not one that wants to get into scraps or anything. He doesn't. That's not necessarily in his DNA. But I told him, I'm like, if you are ever in a situation and you find things elevating, and someone on the other side of the escalation has cauliflower ear, run.
Don't do it. Don't fight wrestlers.
Do not. Do not. That ends very poorly.
The attorneys for Trinidad Chambliss, Ole Miss quarterback, told ESPN they plan to file suit against the NCAA in state court later this week for a preliminary injunction that will aim to secure Chambliss eligibility for 2026. On Friday, the NCAA denied a waiver for a 6th year of eligibility on the grounds that, quote, sufficient medical documentation was not provided. ESPN says the basis of Chambliss's waiver case was that he was dealing with a persistent respiratory issue during his sophomore season at Division II Ferris State. Tom Mars is representing Chambliss, told ESPN the timeline for the filing would be towards the end of the week. The NCAA had a lengthy, like a 4-paragraph rebuttal in the formal rejection waiver on Friday, saying this is something that we normally see, but we normally do not allow. Thing or not a thing?
This sucks for Trinidad Chambliss, although I did see him in a national ad over the weekend. It sucks for him because he is never going to make more money than he would have made next year at Ole Miss had he still had eligibility. But sometimes life sucks. And unfortunately for him, he's not going to receive NFL compensation that's going to be anywhere in the vicinity. Just like Diego Pavia, same thing. Like, they can make multiple millions playing college football, but the problem is in college football as it stands right now, where the only thing they have any teeth left, and it's even that is mitigated quite a bit, is in eligibility. You have a certain amount of time to play a certain amount of seasons, and that's it. And if you can't get it done, you can't. And remember, Chambliss did not come to Ole Miss as like a portal big buy. He came to Ole Miss as a backup quarterback. I think he started the year 4th string. And then when Austin Simmons went down, he was elevated. But that's what it took. So, unfortunately for him, he's never going to cash in the way that he probably could if he had more eligibility. But the reality is a 6th year is absurd for him. It's absurd, just like it's absurd for Pavia.
More court. Yay.
They love it.
The one thing about the NCAA that I feel they've been pretty good with over the years is they do give these medical red shirts to guys, and usually you apply for the medical red shirt while it's going on or the year after. Like, why are we waiting 3 years? Also, I wonder, because I don't believe Trinidad Chambliss at this point was starting. He would have redshirted already 1 year at Ferris State, and then he was probably on the bench. If they would have needed him to play, would he have played? Because I'm guessing he probably would have played. That's why they didn't go for the medical red shirt then. So, yeah, this is a little bit of a bummer for Trinidad Chambliss, but it's time, man. Go take your shot at the NFL.
I just realized this. No, Pavia's done, right? Like, he's not trying to get any more. Is he still trying to?
TBD.
Good Lord.
Like he's efforting, as we like to say here.
It's enough.
I saw this from Pete Thamel. So we discussed Dylan Raiola, who has on social media announced his commitment to Oregon. Thamel says if Dante Moore returns, Raiola would back him up in 2026, then take over as the starter in 2027. Thing or not a thing?
Well, that would be probably the first mature thing that the Raiolas have ever done, if that's the case. And that might be the best thing for the kid. To hang out for a year and sit and then play after that. That is if that's the case. Now, I think Dante Moore is going pro, so I think this is all just window dressing. Because if you're going to be the second quarterback off the board, I think you take that. Although, if you watched what I watched on Friday night, I'm not sure I would take him that high. But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, that's the most mature thing that the Rayolas have done.
I don't believe this is a thing because I don't believe it, because Dylan Raiola has proven that he's not loyal to anywhere. He's not going to stay anywhere if he doesn't think it benefits for him. I also can't believe Oregon would be able to pay him both. I know they've got Phil Knight money, but that seems like an awful lot to be giving to your quarterback position. So unless
maybe it's not that much for Iola Bake.
I can't
maybe
believe
the market's not there.
I just can't believe that's not true.
But he's not a $4 million quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
we got tape. Like
there are
whatever
enough
they think
places
he
that
is,
would give him some. I just don't. I don't believe it.
But maybe it's $1 million or $1.5 million, not $4 million. I mean, that, who knows?
For what it's worth, On3 has his valuation for Dylan Raiola at $2 million.
Yeah. Well, they do that, and then if Moore came back at 6, that's 8 in quarterbacks. Good Lord.
Goodness gracious.
All right, we'll blitz the weekend coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan.
I always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to go able to run and run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Did you know that 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February? And did you know there's a good chance it's just hormones? Hi, I'm Evan Bass, founder of the Columbus Men's Clinic, and I started this clinic a decade ago to take care of men. If your testosterone is low, then motivation, energy, and drive often follow too. And keeping resolutions can feel like walking through mud, and even more so as we age. ED and low T tend to get worse if untreated. And guys, you're not alone. Your physician-led support team at the Columbus Men's Clinic has your back. For years, we've effectively treated ED and low T comprehensively, and with proven treatments dialed in just for you. With same-day booking, you can meet our passionate medical team, and by this afternoon, you'll leave with a plan that's designed to be sustainable for life. The number one thing we hear guys say is, I forgot how I used to feel. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and crush this new year. Call my team right now and let us treat you to an unforgettable experience. Dial 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com. That's columbusmensclinic.com.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. College football's transfer portal is open until Friday. That's the last day players can enter, but schools can still sign portal players after the 16th. Ohio State picked up a pair of safeties in the last 24 hours. Duke defensive back Terry Moore committed this morning. Former Florida State Seminole Earl Little Jr. committed on Sunday. CBS Sports says former Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola has committed to Oregon. Former OSU wideout Quincy Porter's committed to Notre Dame. In the NFL tonight in Pittsburgh, the Steelers host the Texans. It's the final game of the league's wild card weekend. Winner heads to New England against the Patriots in the divisional round. In the NHL, the Blue Jackets beat the Mammoth in overtime yesterday in Utah. CBJ are back at Nationwide tomorrow against the Calgary Flames. In college hoops, Ohio State lost at Washington Sunday, 81-74. Buckeyes are dealing with injuries to Brandon Nolan, Christoph Tilley. You can hear more from OSU Hoops Tuesday at noon as the Jake Diebler radio show hits the fan, Ohio's sports destination.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Just think about it and I didn't take the time to look this up because I'm not that interested in it, but just think about this from the Dylan Raiola perspective in terms of the lifestyle. I mean, his dad played in the league, right? He should know better. He played at multiple high schools in Arizona, then was committed to Ohio State, then decommitted to Ohio State, committed to Georgia, moved him to Georgia. He went and played at one, I can't remember which one of those Georgia powerhouses. Buford. So he goes to Georgia, plays for Buford, which is a powerhouse there. Then is committed to Georgia. Then last minute flips to Nebraska, which is his dad's alma mater. His uncle's on the staff. They give him the starting job as a true freshman. The results are up and down, right? Up and down a little bit with the results. I don't know if he looks like a pro. And now he's on a third college. Like, what are you teaching people? There's no stick-to-itness. None of it. And in terms of what we saw, he's fine, but like, I don't know that he's a pro. Certainly doesn't seem like a pro. He walks like a pro. He mimics Mahomes and everything, but like, thank goodness that didn't end up here. All that mess around it. Because it is that. And I'm surprised Lanning's taking it on. I really am. I can't imagine he was Lanning's first choice in all of this. I really can't. I'm assuming that maybe they swung and missed on Levitt. It feels like maybe they had Damon Williams, a kid from Washington. I don't know, but like I can't imagine that this is what they intended to hand over the keys to that football operation to that kid. That seems like a stretch to me, in a big way. All right, let's blitz the weekend. Hit it, guys.
Bishop and Friends present a weekend sports blitz.
I believe I had that. What'd you have, Bake?
I believe I had that Bruce as Batman just wasn't going to be enough for this Ohio State men's basketball team. And by no means is Bruce Thornton to blame for the struggles that the Ohio State men's basketball team is having. He was great yesterday with 28 points and trying his damnedest to get Ohio State a win on the road at Washington. But this team just isn't deep enough. This bench isn't good enough. John Mobley is just disappearing in games. Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on. Brandon Knowles hurt now. Maybe Christoph Tilley could miss some time. Who knows? He looked like he was in some pretty big pain when he got that screen to the ribs area. Amari Bynum, there's some flashes as a freshman. He was good yesterday with 20. But it's just too much for Bruce to lead this team to the promised land. And unfortunately, I think it's another year for Ohio State basketball not making the NCAA tournament.
It's just hard to go about your business with three little guards. I mean, they're just little guards. Like, it's just mismatch problem after mismatch problem. As good as they can be, and you're right on the Mobley side of it. And I've kind of always saw the Bruce thing the same way you did on that, Bake. I think he was always had to be Robin if you were going to be like a team of real consequence. Reese, what did you have?
I had that Bo Jackson would be back. I think nowadays it's always a negotiation. I think with every single player you have on your roster, even guys that didn't see the field at all, that had 5 stars next to their name coming out of high school. But for Bo, it's 1,000 yards you have in his true freshman season, and he had some huge moments, including the Michigan game. So whatever he thought he was worth, probably going to do a little lower, but you're allowed to have these kinds of back and forth. Things may get testy at times with it. These are I mean, Urban always used to have the phrase life in the big city, and I know he always meant it towards his players. Now I direct it to the coaching staff.
Yeah.
You want to be at Ohio State? You want to coach at Ohio State? These are now your problems in the big city.
I don't know who, if given an option, would want it.
The list can't be very long.
No, money's nice, right? Money's great, but I mean, if you're paying, life is a mess.
Yeah.
It's an utter mess. I had the IU beat down. You just could sense it coming. I just came around to the reality of who they are. And what they are is a grown man football team with a bunch of 22 and 23-year-olds who know how to play college football. And they got a coach who they respond to and is doing it a little bit of a different way than everybody else. And they're going to hang a banner. A week from today, they're going to hang a banner. We're all going to have to get used to it because I don't really think they're going anywhere. They're going to be a preeminent power in the Big Ten for the foreseeable future. I don't know if they'll be so beyond Cignetti, but that's where they are now. I did not have that. Bake, what did you not have?
I did not have quite a few things in the Blue Jackets' loss Saturday to the Colorado Avalanche. I did not have that the CBJ would hold Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar to no points in the game. And then I did not have, if you did that and held them to no points, that you would lose said game 4-0. Mm-hmm. And then I did not have that after the game, they would all talk about how great they played. And that losing 4-0 to the Colorado Avalanche, a team that's as good as they are and world beaters, was a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play good in losses, but you can't talk about how well you played after getting beat 4-0.
What's the NHL record for points accumulated since they've been to this new structure? This new point structure?
I'm not positive. I want to say it might have been the Tampa Bay Lightning the year the Jackets beat them.
Oh, it might be. Because we were in that point structure at that point.
I would have to go back and look on that.
Yeah, you'd have to look. The Avs have 73. They're 33-4-7 on the season. Is that good?
I think that's
33-4-7,
That's
for
not
God's
bad.
sakes. Reese, what did you not have?
I did not have, especially Saturday, there are people still saying, like, oh, well, Indiana's good, but how good can they really be? Have we not seen enough, guys? Can the national conversation stop being, well, I don't know about Indiana?
I'll tell you what I did not have. Bootsy's team, fourth graders, we go out to play our fifth grade game last night. There is a 5'7" kid for the opposing team. This is fourth grade, so 5'7" is really rare. The kid's a lefty. He moves like a seventh grader. In warm-ups, I look over. The kid, lefty, shot it from 32 feet and buried it.
What grade?
Fourth grader. 10-year-old. 10.
No.
Yeah. So, oddly enough, we ended up winning the game somehow, some way. And I talked to the coach after. I asked the kid, I stopped him in the line, and I go, what's your name? And he told me his name. And I said, I just want to remember it because I think you're going to be pretty special. And the coach on the other team told me that he had never played basketball until this year. Like, every once in a while, greatness just shows up out of the clear blue sky. I'm telling you, I wrote the kid's name down. He will be a stud somewhere. He'll play collegiately. He's too good. That type of natural ability just doesn't travel this way. He looked like a kid who'd been playing his whole life. Player that impressed, Big.
Bo, real quick. The Boston Bruins, the 2022-2023 season, 135 points. That's the most ever in an NHL season. I don't know how long the current point system has been going, but you have the Canadians with 132 in the 70s, the mid-90s, the Red Wings 131. The Canadians, again in the 70s, 129. And then that Lightning team we talked about with 128.
Okay.
We didn't get to talk much when we were talking about sports this weekend about the Ohio State women's basketball team, but they got a huge win yesterday, beating Maryland on the road, 89-76. Maryland was ranked 8th in the country. The Ohio State women's basketball team having a pretty good season. Jelani Cambridge almost had a triple-double in that game. She had 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. On the season, Jelani's averaging 21.2 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, just over 4 assists, and she's shooting 51% from the field. I know that J.C. Sheldon was a really good player here, and I know that Taylor Mikesell was a really good player, and Cody McMahon, while she was here, was really good. I think Jelani Cambridge is the best Ohio State women's basketball player since Kelsey Mitchell, and I've said before, Kelsey Mitchell's the best female basketball player I've ever seen in person.
That's a deep Big Ten on the women's side. I think you got 9 ranked teams. So that was huge for Ohio State getting that win at Maryland yesterday. I found myself on Saturday watching Cavs Timberwolves. First time since Christmas, I think I've watched more than a quarter of Cavaliers basketball, and I really love Jalen Tyson. I don't love much about this team because it's just so frustrating to watch. But he had 23 in their Saturday win over the Timberwolves, kind of a nice get back. Again, I still think, this Cavs season's going to end in a first-round playoff exit, and we're all going to be really pissed off that a $240 million team is going to squander the opportunities they have, but you get little moments like that.
Absolutely. I'll just go quickly here. Caleb Williams, the throw on fourth down's unbelievable. Player who disappointed, Bake, who do you got?
To me, it's Dan Lanning. We talked about it. I texted you guys as soon as Oregon came out. I said I didn't like his body language. It doesn't look good, and this is 2 years in a row, and I think he lost both years to the best team in the country, but both years he lost bigly.
Gabe Cupps has been disappointing.
Buddy Garrity sucks.
Yeah.
The 3-year-old golden retriever scratching off a scab that was damn near completely healed to the point that it's oozing blood, and now I'm going to have to go to the vet today. So there's that. That's great. Bud Kilmer, honorary coach of the week, Bake.
I think there's only one answer here, right?
Jesus.
I got one.
There's
one
only
too,
one.
and it's not who you're going to.
I got one, and it's not him.
Yeah.
Google me.
Kurt Signetti.
He can get it next Tuesday.
He will.
Fred Hoiberg, Nebraska's coach. They went to Indiana and won that game. The Cornhuskers are fielding the most rec league-looking basketball team ever, and they're 16-0.
Yeah, they do. They are. You know who else is pretty damn good? Tommy Ryan and Buckeye Wrestling. They beat number 20. They're ranked second in the country. They beat number 23 Indiana 45-0 in a dual meet. When do they duel Penn State? Because Penn State hasn't lost a meet in I want to say in 78 dual meets. Ohio State, Penn State on the mats is going to be nuts. That's number 1 against number 2 whenever that happens.
I'm pulling their schedule
February
up right
13th.
Now.
Book it. Is it here or there?
In Penn State.
Damn it.
Nothing like a wrestling tournament or a wrestling match on Valentine's Day weekend.
There you go.
Get the juices
That'll be
flowing.
must-see. That will be must-see TV when it happens. We'll get you set for the Monday Nighter tonight, the final playoff game of an NFL weekend that has had a ton of drama and a ton of fun. Can the Steelers extend Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers, or can CJ and the Texans get it done in round 1 in Pittsburgh tonight? We'll get into that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's really been amazing, the amount of people that I've had contact me, and the talk is generally centered around QC Kinetics, and whether it's a knee, whether it's a back, a hip, shoulder.
He's always happy to talk about how QC Kinetics all-natural regenerative treatments finally gave him relief without surgery. That's former pro football player Bobby Carpenter.
My message to them is do not wait and push off a week, a month, whatever it is. So if you want to feel better this summer, now would be the time to get in. If you want to feel better in the fall, make sure that you're getting in here so you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Spoken by a man who experienced relief firsthand. QC Kinetics gave this former pro athlete back his mobility, his activity, and they'll do the same for you.
Has really helped me in just my general quality of life.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Don't start the new year with the same old ride. Right now, score low lease payments on all 2026 models, like $149 a month for a brand new Elantra or $159 for a new Sonata. Hurry in and kick off the new year right. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit $39.95 down plus tax, title, and fees. 2-year lease with 10K miles per year. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Ends 2-2.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
So let's talk price, Wilson.
Let's talk about the price, Bob.
I hear it a lot. Leslie, aren't Pella windows a bit more expensive?
The actual retail price is.
But we're not. We've got 5 different window lines for the $300,000 to the $3 million home. All are Pella Elite.
Oh, so when I get on the show, I'm going to have to bid lower. That'll come in super handy someday.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
I take care of the kids, my dad, things at work, but I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression. Go to mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks, plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
For today, expect a mostly sunny start to the work week with highs a lot warmer than yesterday, getting into the low 40s. However, with breezy winds, we'll have that wind chill in place. For tonight, mostly clear overnight with our lows in the upper 20s. And then for Tuesday, a nice mix of sun and clouds and milder with breezy winds continuing and highs in the upper 40s to low 50s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
The only thing better than watching football is talking about it. So we invented Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. The final season of Yellowstone might just be Bo's dad live on YouTube. What's the difference anyway? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, get to the NFL playoff thing in a second. A couple of things from the NCAA transfer portal. Arizona State transfer quarterback Sam Leavitt has committed to LSU. So Lane Kiffin gets his man with LSU. He's the number one. I mean, it's got to be upwards of $7 million. There's a bidding war for him. It's got to be $6-7 million. So he ends up going to LSU. I did find this pretty interesting. Joe Shad, who I think he writes for the Fort Lauderdale newspaper now, but you probably remember him from the ESPN. Palm Beach Post. I'm sorry, Palm Beach Post. You probably remember him from ESPN. He was one of their college football insiders for a lot of years. He had this tweet 8 minutes ago, and this gives you like an example of just how crazy it is. Montana football coach Bobby Houck, whose team lost to the beloved Bobcats in the national semifinal of the 1AA playoff, says that he has walk-on players with agents. at Montana. Think about that. Walk-on players.
Like, are they just their buddies from high school that are studying pre-law?
The delusion is wild.
Good law school in Montana, is there?
It's solid. My uncle went there. He did all right. All right. We've got football of the National Football variety tonight. Texans at Steelers. Every game has pretty much lived up to it. There was some separation, obviously, in the game late, but it was competitive throughout. In terms of this one tonight, there's so much at stake from the Steelers side of it, because there is this sense, and I don't know how real it is or not, because I think a lot of it could depend on how it goes tonight, that maybe this is it for Tomlin. Maybe this is it for Rodgers. Is this the 1 year and that's it? Did Rodgers accomplish what he needed to accomplish by just getting this team to the postseason? Is that a win for him, coming off of the 2 years with the Jets? Does that validate all of it? To me, it probably does. I think it probably does. But for Pittsburgh, at some point, they're going to have a complete kind of reorganization of the organization, because their roster it's a weird roster. They've got veterans. They've got old quarterbacks. They keep trying to Band-Aid the quarterback thing year in, year out. And it's hard to know where they go in terms of if they want to track down Super Bowls. Because this is not a Super Bowl team right now. It's not. Can they win tonight against Houston? Yeah, for sure they can. Now, Houston's defense is a real one, and they're going to have to be a lot better than they used to be. It will help getting DK Metcalf back. Before we hear from Tomlin and Aaron, I want to hear from both of them. What is your early read here on this one, fellas?
Game comes down to a field goal.
Tight.
I think I picked Pittsburgh to win just because it just screams like that's what's going to happen tonight. Like, they had no business beating the Baltimore Ravens. They've got no business being in the playoffs, yet somehow here they are. Like, Aaron, it would take for Pittsburgh to reach Levi's Stadium an Aaron Rodgers all-timer in a playoff run. So does that happen? The Browns fan in me is like, yeah, expect that to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that the Pittsburgh Steelers have not won a playoff game since 2017. That's baffling. That's insane. This game is ugly tonight. Like, I don't even know if either team gets to double digits. Like, it could be like a 9-6, 10-6 type game. And I just feel like if Pittsburgh can muck it up that much, I feel like Aaron Rodgers will make a play in the win, and Boswell is ridiculous in those kind of situations, and they'll get a field goal late to win.
And the Texans can play that sort of a game. Like, they can survive in that kind of an element. So
for sure.
I expect it to be CJ having some moments, Rodgers having some moments, but yeah, that, to Baker's point, that damn Boswell.
It screams 13-10, 12-9.
Yeah.
It just screams it to me. I think whatever the under is, I haven't even looked at it.
This game will be similar to last night's game, I feel. The Chargers and the Patriots. Just a defensive battle.
Which is fun. Like, I think sometimes there's this sense that if a game is low scoring, that it's a bad game. No, the game last night was a great game. It was just two meat grinder defenses going at each other, and the Patriots made a couple more plays than the Chargers did. And I think that's how this will be tonight. The over-under on this is 38.5, which is low by NFL standards, obviously, very low.
Seems
I think
too
it's
high.
under.
Yeah, it's under that.
Way too high.
And it's fitting because the winner goes to Foxborough.
Yeah,
you
so
just
that's all
get
set.
two weeks in a row of face punching.
Yeah. Certainly do. Let's hear from Mike Tomlin, because this could be the end for him, could be the end for Rodgers. Here's Tomlin on what a win would mean for the organization.
I don't think there's any lack of intensity or urgency, but at the same time, there certainly is a comfort and an ease knowing that you got a been there, done that guy at the controls. There's value in it that's immeasurable, not only in terms of his performance, but just the collective performance. He's got a way about him that's cool. He calms the waters. And certainly we got some young, significant contributors in his huddle, and the informal things that he does are just as critical as the formal things.
A lot of that had to do with Aaron Rodgers, of course. Let's hear from Rodgers on Tomlin now. Here is Aaron Rodgers on playing for Mike Tomlin.
Well, a lot of that I think is important. I think the way that he creates the culture and allows guys to be themselves is an important part of team chemistry in a locker room, being a healthy locker room. One thing I really love, and it's kind of the antithesis of where I was, is there's not really any leaks in the boat. Every year you have difficulties and adversity, both on the field and off the field. And to go through a season like this and to be able to focus on football and not have a lot of other little out there has been really nice.
That dude was on McAfee every week with the Jets and the Packers.
Yeah, it did. To his credit, it stopped when he got into Pittsburgh.
It did. It did. It certainly did stop that.
All of the drama's kind of been fueled by him.
Those guys might have like a buddy cop movie in the future. The two of them.
Yeah,
there's a genuine affection between the two of them.
I mean, like those two. If it ends and if Pittsburgh decides for that fresh start, it's like Rodgers and Tomlin have a podcast ready to go. Because I forget who it was who threw out the report that Tomlin would just go to the media for a year if the right coaching opportunity wasn't available. And it's like, well, what's Rodgers going to do? Is he going to host Jeopardy after this? Because with barring a Super Bowl run, like Rodgers is also probably done. I don't say it with any confidence, actually.
Could you imagine them videoing Rodgers and McAfee on an ayahuasca retreat together? I mean, that'd be must-see.
What do you think Mother Ayahuasca would tell Mike Tomlin?
Oh, my God. I had a hairdresser once who did that, did the ayahuasca nonsense. This is like 10 years ago. And he was like, well, he was so excited about it. Like, couldn't wait. Like, talked about it for months. Like, every time I'd go in there, like every 4 weeks, go in there, get a haircut. So excited. Tell me all the story. Oh, Mother Ayahuasca and all this. Okay. All right, great. So finally came time for the big visit for Mother Ayahuasca. So he went somewhere, I don't know where, found whatever shaman or whatever you need to administer the Mother Ayahuasca treatment. It was like a hut and all this nonsense. So I see him like the next time after he came back. I said, how was it? And it was terrible. He was sick basically the whole time. He basically just had the flu. It basically gave him everything that comes with the flu, right? So I said, well, God, that seems like a waste. He goes, no, that's what Mother Ayahuasca wanted for me.
It's the journey.
Stop.
Yeah, it's the journey she wanted to send him on, and he had to accept it.
It's what the universe wanted.
Yeah.
At which point I found a new hairdresser. Like,
well, that makes sense.
If we can't just admit that you got scammed on this thing, that...
I mean, people pick bad vacations all the time, and it's almost a 100% hit rate where they're like, no, it's fine. No, you know, just what happened. You're like, you can say it sucked, man. You can just say that was terrible. I'll never do that again.
Next thing you know, Bo shows up with hair looking like Adam King. We can't have that.
I don't know how you do with dreadlocks, but it kind of like veers into that direction, it feels like.
Oh man, yeah. So we'll see where all that shakes out. I think this would be, to me, from the Pittsburgh side of it, it's there's a lot because they won't look the same next year. Or certainly the odds are they won't look the same next year, right? My hunch is Tomlin will return, but they're going to have to do it again at quarterback. And is that a Malik Willis, Mac Jones? Like they're going to have to do that. I think this is it for Rodgers. I think he got him to the postseason. They got a home playoff game. You're going to hear Renegade in the fourth quarter tonight. That probably checks all the boxes for him. And it seemed like this was a bit of a struggle this year. He's just not the same. He's just gotten old. I mean, it happens to everybody there, and they don't have a lot of weapons on offense. And so getting Metcalf back tonight will help. So they could prolong this another week, but they're not any sort of, to me, they're not any sort of like Super Bowl contender, AFC contender, any of that. I don't know if Houston is either, but I think if CJ Stroud can go into Pittsburgh and make a couple of plays tonight and then get them to the next round, if it's them going to play at Foxborough with that defense, with CJ in Foxborough, now you're talking. That Houston team, to me, looks like a team that could make a run of things if they get a win tonight. It feels like no matter what, Pittsburgh is either done this week or they're done next week at Foxborough. I could see Houston winning 2 games. I don't think that's out of the question. I just really believe their defense is that good that they can pull that off. So I think this one is going to be a fun one tonight over in Pittsburgh. Bill Bender in 2 minutes. We'll do a little NFL, but mostly college with him. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner.
You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time to head out on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline conversation with our good buddy Bill Bender, of course, at the Sporting News. He joins us there. As you've kind of taken all this in from the quarterfinal through the semifinal, and obviously nobody had Indiana, Miami playing for the national championship, but as you've observed not just the games, but the conversation around the games, what did the traditional powers, if anything, learn from how to conduct, or what can they learn from how to conduct a roster and build a roster? And Miami and Indiana did it different ways, but both older teams, transfer heavy, all of that. What can be gleaned from this?
Okay, I'm going to read you a couple numbers to get us started. I'm breaking down, as you teed me up perfectly, because I'm breaking down Indiana and Miami's roster as we speak. So if you look at Indiana's 25 starters, include a second running back, average 2.5 stars, average 4.3 years of college experience. 15 of those guys are transfers. That's 60%. Miami, 25 starters, average 3-star rating, 3.9 years of college experience, and 56% of those 25 guys in their starting lineup are transfers. I think that the stunning part to me is I think it's more about the experience, Bo. Mm-hmm. When you have 22 and 23-year-old guys in your starting lineup, you might beat up on a 19-year-old.
That's exactly what I said when we were talking about Indiana in the first hour, because one thing that got a little annoying to me was all of this talk about Cignetti not drafting or not recruiting 4 and 5 stars like you don't need him. He's just coaching up little Timmy tryhards. And I'm like, he's coaching up 21, 22, and 23-year-olds is what he's coaching up. And he deserves all the credit in the world for it. But he's got grown men. He's got a full roster of grown men. You said the average 4.3 years of experience?
Yeah, out of those 25 guys. It reminds me of Michigan a couple years ago. Minus the Stallions controversy, they had a bunch of veteran players.
Yeah.
Right? You go back and look at that Michigan defense 2 years ago. They had Barrett and Sandersville and I think Chris Jenkins was a 4-year player. They had a bunch of that. And maybe that's the way to do it. Miami has more experience than I thought, but they also dip into the portal a lot more than I thought. Their entire secondary is transfer portal guys.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think the thing that we have to get used to at, places like Ohio State, and I'm curious where you come down on this, Georgia, Texas, the ones, Alabama in the old days, where, you sign these recruiting classes with all these 4 and 5 stars. Bill, I would never be held over a barrel by a 17, 18-year-old again. Never. I just don't think you need to. Go prove it somewhere else.
I completely agree. Now, there are exceptions. Like when you're trying to go get a Jeremiah Smith, you go get him. But in general, I think where the shift might happen is you start spending your money on the veteran players, the guys that have proven, so they don't transfer. That would make sense to me. I know Ohio State has a lot of guys in the portal right now, and that's a little bit of a concern, but that's where you've got to start spending the money, is on the veteran players or 5-star guys that you think are can't miss, obviously Jeremiah being one of those guys.
I had to explain that last week on the show about people are like, well, they don't have to play Caleb Downs anymore. They don't have to play Carnell Tate anymore. They don't have to pay Sonny and Arvell. You don't have to pay those guys anymore. Yeah, but you got to give Julian a raise. Right. You got to give Jeremiah a raise. Like, you got to do those things.
You got to take care of the guys that are going to be impact players on the roster. And so at some point this afternoon, when I get over the Green Bay loss, I'm going to dig into the preseason or the way too early top 25, which I literally slacked my editor. I said, I don't know, we'll take a stab at it. I'm sure it's the usual suspects, but there's still a lot of portal movement to be done. And, those lists are only made to be skewered.
They are, and I think but they're the most fun, and I think the other thing that's really hard about doing something like this right now is, obviously Indiana's going to have a roster turnover. It'll be another new quarterback. They get thrashed from Michigan State, so they're going to have a massive roster turnover. There is something that he did, though, that hit a nerve. Winning, obviously, is the chief thing that he did, but hit a nerve with that alumni base. Bill, I've never seen a home stadium advantage like the one that they in a bowl like the one that they had against Oregon last week.
It was mind-boggling, and I'm starting to wonder what that loss did to the Oregon program. I know Dylan Raiola's in the news right now, but that's 2 straight years you've been nuked in a bowl game or a playoff game, and by a fellow Big Ten school. And I get that the running back room was thin, but they got annihilated. And that was a virtual home game at Atlanta for the Hoosiers. Makes me wonder, and Bobby mentioned this on the morning show this morning, and I think he's right, there might be a chance that there could be more Indiana fans than Miami fans at Hard Rock Stadium. I think it'll be closer to 50-50.
Well, the one thing that Miami has in their advantage, and I saw Mark Cuban tweeting about this morning, Miami fans had a day head start. Fair. And that matters.
And they'll be around. One of the Miami home games I went to years ago was when they played Notre Dame, and it was during the Rick era. And I don't know if you remember this game, but they won like 43-8, and it was rowdy and all those things that the old Orange Bowl used to be. And I think this is the thing. Here's another stat I know you'll appreciate. Why is this significant to the Florida school? Is it? From 1983, when Miami won their first national title, through the BCS era, that's basically you and I's home run swing. 18 of those 30 seasons, Miami, Florida State played in the game that determined the national title. It was 60% of the time. This is the first time in the playoff era we've had one of them.
Yeah, that is a stunning stat, and obviously I was down there for a lot of years, and I talked about this earlier in the show, but just to relay it because I think you hit home with it. Obviously, Ohio State got a safety from Florida State. There's talk they could get a defensive end from Florida State, and I was talking to a buddy of mine down there who's pretty well connected, and I said, how did this happen, that Florida State became a feeder program? And he said, well, there's a million factors to it, but one of the things that happened, and which is crazy for like guys our age to think about, because they were the preeminent program through the 90s, 14 straight years finishing in the top 4 in the country, 2 national titles. And I said, he goes, dude, we put like $130 million into the facilities, into the indoor facility, and then after that they put like $300 million into the stadium. They're tapped. They're tapped out.
You got to put the money into the players now. And that's where the money has. I don't know. Grant was at Ohio State lacrosse. They had a prospect day or whatever, a camp Saturday, and we got to tour the Woody, and it's amazing. But I don't know that Ohio State needs much more. You know what I mean? They're going to need to put programs like that are going to have to put it in place. By the way, it was absolutely incredible, and you see why these programs have the development for the athletes that they do. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, but and that is, but at the same time, these are the decisions that folks are going to have to make. You have to decide where you want your money to go. And I said this to Ross a couple of years ago. I don't think at a place like Ohio State, Bill, I don't think they can have 36 sports all being run like football, where everybody's got these training tables and they got all this stuff. And it sucks because, I mean, I love Nick Myers. I love those programs. Like, I don't want anything to happen to any of them. But the reality is you're going to have to make budgetary decisions on what's most important to you because there is only so much money to go around.
Yeah, and obviously Ohio State has a lot of programs to feed. and you want them to all have success. I mean, I know we enjoy watching the lacrosse program a great deal, just as fans, and live in that stadium and the volleyball stadium. My daughter and I have gone to games there. You want to have those be fun. So, but I mean, this is the arms race we're in. And I think the nature of what you just said about Florida State and the stadium and the amenities to it is less important now than giving the guys you have a raise and getting the players on the field. And I don't know how long that's sustainable. I always get that question, but that's just the present tense. That's definitely the present tense.
If you were Mark Pantoni and Ryan Day at Ohio State, how would you build that program in this day and age?
Mix. I've always thought it was a mix, the recruiting, and they still do an elite job recruiting, working the portal as best you can, balancing that out. I mean, obviously, Ohio State program where coordinators are going to come and go. I never freak out about that. I always look at that as a sign you do a good job of developing coaches. And then development. The other ticket to this whole thing is Ohio State sends guys to the NFL. When you're watching football on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and you're seeing all these Ohio State receivers and players and in the intros, that's the best public service announcement for any college football program.
Yeah, that part remains pretty good, and I think that's something they're figuring out in real time. So I grew up a Bears fan, and my middle brother grew up a Packers fan. So the text chain was going on. Now I fell off on the Bears because obviously with the Browns now, but fell off a little bit. Haven't paid that close attention to them in the last 15 years or so. But one thing I know is the Chicago Bears don't beat the Green Bay Packers when it matters, not since 1985. So how the hell did this happen on Saturday?
Oh, it was bad. The second half, obviously, with the clock management and the game management. And you know what, I'll give them credit. Caleb Williams is that guy that you can't kill till it's over. And he's got that vibe to him, and he played very well in the fourth quarter. I already did my rant on the morning show about Ben Johnson, and I'm not a fan of the locker room stuff. You can say that, but you don't need the cameras on to do that. Yeah. I'll use Ryan Day as an example. After the Michigan game, he said, "There's a lot of things I could say, but I won't." That's how you handle it. If you want to say it behind closed doors to your guys with the cameras off, go ahead. I think Ryan Day handled that the way he should. I thought Ben Johnson handled everything after the game poorly, and I don't care. I don't care that I'm a Packers fan. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think he is positioning himself to be really disliked unless you're a Bears fan. Right. Then I think you love him, right? I mean, I think that's kind of where he's at. And I think he's comfortable there.
And that's fine for him, and that's fine for that team. But like I said, if the Rams put one on them on Saturday or Sunday, I mean, as a journalist, I'll be like, yeah, that's fine. But, again, it takes away from what Caleb did. Caleb was great. Green Bay choked. Matt LaFleur, here's the thing. They're going to bring him back, I think. But you've been through this, and other programs have been through this. When your approval rating's probably around like 55%, everybody's still going to be thinking about that Bears game. And so they have a lot to prove next year.
They do. It's the NFL's. It's interesting because all he's done is win, and he did the transfer from Rodgers to Love. I mean, it's all kind of worked. That was a tough one. It was one that they had. Great talking to you as always, my friend. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, that was good therapy. Thanks, Bill. I'll talk to you soon. Appreciate it.
There he goes, our buddy Bill Bender. The Sporting News joining us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Get you three things on a Monday. Coming up next, Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer, or Wegmans.
It's the biggest sale of the year, the Right Rug Flooring Clearance Sale. Save on thousands of in-stock styles, including carpet starting at 35 cents a square foot. Luxury vinyl starts at 43 cents a square foot. Hardwood and laminate start at 99 cents. Prices are material only. Unbelievable deals on beautiful quality floors. Next day installation and 24-month special financing available with approved credit. Hurry, the Right Rug Flooring Clearance Sale ends January 25th. Right here, right now.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron, you know how it seems like everything just moves faster nowadays?
You mean like technology and all those crazy inventions?
Well, our furnace repair buyback program means you can slow down and take your time deciding what to do.
Get Eco.
We act fast so you can plan slowly.
You're right, Jerry. If your furnace fails in the dead of winter, call us. We'll be right there to fix it the day you call.
Boom. We're there. It's fixed.
Get Eco.
But our repair buyback means you still have time to think it over in the warmth and comfort of your toasty warm home.
And if you decide you'd rather replace that old clunker, instead of fixing it every year, we'll credit the money you spent on repairs against the purchase of a brand new furnace, up to $1,500.
We act fast so you can plan slowly.
How long have you been working on that line?
Good poetry takes time, Aaron.
Get Eco.
GetEco.com.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Hey, it's Matty Ice. Do you want to start the new year off in style? Well, then my buddies at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion have just what you're looking for the best price around. You can lease a brand new 26 Chevy Silverado 1500 for just $319 a month for 36 months with only $3,879 due at signing, or you can save up to $14,000 off MSRP if you finance. Terms and restrictions apply. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. PNCs apply. In-app only.
Steve here from USA Insulation. Let me ask you a question. Do you know why your thermos keeps your coffee hot? Because it's insulated with foam. So let us do the same thing and insulate your home with our premium foam for only $99 a month, interest-free. The cold weather's here. There's nothing better than sitting in a warm, comfortable home with your loved ones and keeping that cold, drafty air outside. So make the call today, 529-2440, 529-2440 or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
All your favorite Fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Find us on YouTube. Search WBNS Radio and you can see what Bo looks like. But only if you subscribe. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, before we get to the poll, I suppose we should... Did we make this pick last week?
We did, but we have time to change it if we want. So...
Where are we at?
It was, when we picked it, it was Pittsburgh getting 3.
Yeah.
And it is still that. Houston is still the favorite by 3 points. All three of us took Pittsburgh and the points.
I'm going to stay there.
Same.
Yeah, okay.
So one way or another, Reese, you and I are finishing with the same record this week.
Hear it on the Fan with coverage after the Buckeye Show.
I'll tell you the dumbest thing. I cannot believe. I even went back and looked. I spent the whole game, Niners-Philly, rooting for the Niners, and I picked Philly?
That you did.
What an idiot. absolute bozo. Reese, what do we have on the poll?
Daily Fan Poll asks, does Ohio State's 2 losses, being to the 2 teams that are going to play for the national championship, make you feel any better about Ohio State's season? Yes, we lost to the best. No, losing is losing. Indifferent are your options. 67% say no, losing is losing. 18% say yes, we lost to the best, and the rest are indifferent.
Yeah, I think it's the first. It doesn't matter. You're looking for silver linings. I think at Ohio State you're above that. You're silver bullets. You're not looking for silver linings. All right, time for 3 things on a Monday. Hit it, fellas.
1, 2, 3 things.
All right, number 1 for me. Yes, I had some correspondence with the blonde who informed me that as soon as I'm done here, I am indeed taking Buddy Garrity back to the vet. So another $600, I'm sure, there, and we'll see if we can teach this guy to stop scratching his neck, which is now going to cost me about $1,000 by the time I'm done with it. Same amount that I'm paying NBC for his little bet. So that's where all of that stands. So my dog and my oldest son costing me a lot of money at the moment, kids.
Yeah, first thing for me was a head and a heart Sunday with the Bills and the Jaguars because I had picked Jacksonville to win it. And as a Browns fan, you probably should have wanted Buffalo to win it because now that Jacksonville's out, Cleveland's got the 24th overall selection. I even found myself like cheering for the refs when they somehow gave Jacksonville like a second before half. I'm like, all right, time for Legatron to go out there and get me a perfect weekend. But why, Eric, you idiot? Those refs were terrible in that Buffalo-Jacksonville game, by the way.
Yeah.
First thing for me, it was this day in 2017 when Mike Greenberg announced that he would be leaving Mike and Mike after 18 years. It's kind of hard to believe that show was around that long, and kind of even harder to believe that it's been gone as long as it has, but that sent kind of shockwaves through the broadcasting world, including here at the Fan, because that was the beginning of the formation of Morning Juice, which you can still hear on the HD3 and the Fan's YouTube, and kind of changed things here with, ESPN Radio is going downhill. Let's go ahead and have more live programming.
Yeah, it's funny you brought that up. I was thinking about that completely yesterday, like on the drive to one of the boys' games, just this notion of, I've seen about those guys. They were together that long, and it seems it obviously didn't end well with the two of them. Like they shared all of their lives, all of it, and then it all just went to hell at the end, which sucks. Oh, I know why, because it was Westwood One does like a Golick and Golick watch or something that they do that I was unaware of. So anyway, that's where that shook out. Number 2 for me, Beamsy's team, which is really, really good in their league, is really, really good. We played we're probably the 2 of the 3 best teams in the thing. And we played one of the other ones on Saturday. And you hear a lot of horror stories about youth sports because there's a lot of horror in youth sports. This was not that. This was 2 incredibly well-coached teams, incredibly well officiated. Like the officials did an incredible job. We ended up winning by 2. One of our kids hit 2 clutch free throws down the stretch, and we ended up winning by 2. But we were shaking hands with the other coach at the end of the game, and we were both like, and even he was this way, and his team had lost. They got us last year, so it kind of evens out. And we were both just like, that was awesome. Like, it does exist. When the right people are running and you have the right perspective, things can go well, and this was an example of it. Just a really fun game, really highly competitive 6th grade basketball game. So it was fun to be a part of it yesterday.
The first time in a long time, I somewhat glazed the Cleveland Cavaliers and say how impressed I was with Jalen Tyson on Saturday. I'll read this from a good friend of the program, Chris Fedor, who says Cleveland's got no real idea about Max Strus, who's been dealing with a broken foot since last season. Thinks maybe they're just going to put him on ice for the rest of the year because it's tough in that situation, not knowing how to really properly go along with it. And it's like, well, they really need Max Strus if they want to make this anything to write home about in terms of the season.
This is a part of a bigger conversation. It's one that we could probably apply to the Blue Jackets at some point. But I think about this with the Cavs. Like, you're not entitled to championships. You're not. It's really hard to do.
Windows close so damn quick.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, I even think about like this Luka run with the Lakers right now. Like, so they get the generational player, but they are roadblocked by Oklahoma City and potentially now San Antonio, depending on what happens on with Wemby, and even Denver. Like, it's so brutal to get to the top in those type of sports. Like, being a contender should be, that's the minimum. That should be what you should ask of your sports teams. You're not entitled to championships, but you should be entitled to being a contender, which is something the Jackets haven't been really at all in their existence.
Felt like that was a little violent there towards me.
Sorry.
Bill.
You know I love the folks there, but come on.
Second thing for me, we talked on Friday about Peacock having some new sound options moving forward where you can mute maybe the announcers. I understand why after watching that Ohio State-Washington game yesterday, and I was really just locked into the first half. Those dudes, I don't know who they were. They were brutal. And I don't know if you know this or not, but that player on Washington has a 40-inch vertical leap. I think I heard it about 7 times in the first half. It's the only thing they really knew about the team. Like, it was really bad. NBC Peacock, do better. Get some better announcers.
That's where they make it. That's how they make it work, right? They're just never going to invest in that type of stuff. So that's the product that you get. Number 3 for me, I think I mentioned this. I watched over the Christmas break. I watched one battle after another while my wife and children abandoned me, and I thought it's probably one of the best movies I've seen in the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, it's had that type of it just was incredibly well done. A little bit of humor, all of it. But I'm going to tell you this: last night it won a Golden Globe as Best Musical or Comedy. There is no scenario where that is a musical or a comedy. It's got some funny moments, but it's as serious a subject matter as you're ever going to find. And the idea that they would make it a musical or comedy is farcical.
Is anybody singing it?
No.
Oh, musical. Okay, the idea that those two
it's not a comedy,
categories are combined.
Yes, they put them together, and it's not in any way a comedy. In any way. Leo's got some funny lines, and Benicio del Toro does too, but it's not a comedy in any way.
So tonight, the Lakers, led by Luka Doncic, are going to have LeBron James on the court in Sacramento. That's his first game when he was with the Cavaliers back in 2003. There's going to be, from this point on, every Lakers uniform LeBron wears will have a special LeBron James jersey patch. And at the end of every game, they're going to be cut up, and those jersey patches will be put into Topps trading cards. That's $1 million trading card right there, off the press.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Look at me. Look at me.
It's nuts.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Final thing for me, Rothman and Ice coming up next. The great Joshua Perry in for the Emmy Award-winning Anthony Rothman. He'll be in with Matty Ice, so don't miss a minute of that.
You have that to look forward to, which is nice. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to